Hello, guys. Welcome to yet another version of me playing some boring chess games. This is stream number 6. Thanks to few people who have already joined and are waiting. And I could see some comments. Who is the Grandmaster? Yeah, by now you could have seen someone who is already there on the stream. Welcome, Priyadharshan. Thank you so much for joining. How are you? Thank you. It's my pleasure to have a professional chess player to be on the stream. It's nice. So before we begin, I'll just let you know what all we are going to do. You might have already known that I have been streaming chess games for a while, and I invited even one of my friends to play with me, Mr. Praveen sir. So the idea is to get better at the game. So we two were playing, and he was beating me left, right, center. So I wanted to uh, get some more knowledge from the specialists themselves. So I thought I will include. I mean, I will get training from. Yeah, already. But I played some games offline with him. But streamல விளையாடுறதுனாலயோ என்னமோன்னு தெரியல I'm not able to manage time. Sometimes I lose on time. So, but anyways, that is not the deal. It's about how better you get. எப்படி என்னென்னலாம் கற்றுக்குறோம். So that is more important. So that is why I'm going to bring all the grandmasters. I mean, not everybody. Like whomever is willing to come, I'm going to ask everybody one by one. So it's a pleasure to start with you. Thank you so much for joining this stream. So, so the thing is, நீங்க சொல்லுங்க, like when did you start playing chess? Chess is getting younger day by day. So, like, at what age did you start? Okay. 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 So you remember your very first game or very first time you got introduced to chess, or who introduced you to this amazing game? Okay. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. 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 So at what point you decided, okay, I'm going to take this up seriously? Like, okay, 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 okay. That's a nice story. Thank you for sharing. Okay, I'm just getting comments that guest is not audible. Like, I don't know. I'm able to hear you. Why people are not able to hear you? Okay, I'm just using the computer audio, right? I don't know. If I'm able to hear you, Praveen sir stream. Just a minute. Okay, just a minute. I'm just trying to figure out. Oh my. Why is guest not audible? Okay, over him show. Just a minute, guys. I'm just trying to fix what is the problem. Just a minute. God. Oh, okay. Hmm. Is it? It's your OBS, I guess. Okay. No, no. I was just checking what was the problem. Oh my God. 1 minute. This always happens with me. Some technical issue. Oh, Priyadharshan, can you just mute yourself now? Okay. Can you just unmute and say something? Okay. No, okay. Like I just tested in the stream itself. I don't know why it's not audible. Uh, okay, what should I do? But how come mine is audible and yours is not? I don't know. Okay. Audio output is like. One minute. Desktop audio. Default audio.
If they're an OBS expert.
Okay, so guys, can you guys hear him now?
Hello, mic check.
I was not expecting this. I thought last time it was. Sir, can you just speak something, Priyan?
Yeah, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Hello. Can you hear me now, everyone? Hello.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah,
audible?
okay, cool, guys. Sorry for the interruption. I am a boomer living in the 1970s. Everything is fine now. Okay, there was some mistake. I did not include the desktop audio. I just included my headset audio to OBS, so I just changed that.
Okay.
He was
So
telling
I'll
a
start all over again. No issues. I'll start. I was reminded of this favorite joke on the Velainu anta illa kanpurathula annai kalayila 6 mani. That's a joke, right?
Yeah.
I was reminded of that joke. Okay, I'll start all over again. No issues.
Okay,
We have the
guys,
time, right?
Yeah, no problem. I have all night.
Yeah,
If you
sure.
are there, we can do all night.
So
Actually,
so
I asked him for those people who are in, who wanted to know what he was telling or what his mouth was blabbering all the time. So I just asked him how did he start, and here we go again for repeat audience or
repeat once more. So as I was saying initially, I started playing chess when I was, I think, 6.5, 7 years old. And how I came to play chess is like my parents both, they don't know chess, but they had put my elder brother in like chess classes. And how he came to play chess is because party gifted a chess board to him, and like பழைய board ஒன்று இருந்ததை like விளையாடு அப்படின்னு கொடுத்ததுனால, so he was playing chess. And then I just saw the pieces, the board lying on the floor, and at that time I was going for cricket classes. I was 6.5 years old. But then my parents, like, I would come back from school, I would just set up the board and I would play for both sides. I didn't know the rules, anything. From parents, they figured out, okay, he's interested in chess, so let's put him in chess classes instead of cricket classes. They started. So abdidan. So then I, and as already my brother was also playing, my elder brother, I accompanied him to tournaments. I also played, like, if there's an older category, I was playing the younger category, அந்த மாதிரி. And அப்படிதான் I started out playing chess, and அதுக்கப்புறம் like I think the next question you were asking me earlier was like how I continued to keep playing in the game. As I said, like even the first tournament I played, the first ever tournament I played was in Karikudi. I played in some age category state championship or open, and organizer was so friendly that he gave trophies to everyone to motivate all kids. So I think I finished 4th out of 6 kids or something. After I went to my first state championship, I finished in top 10 in Devakotai. After I finished my first nationals, I played under 7 in Ahmedabad, 2000. I finished in top 10. So as per the natural progression, every tournament I played, I was in top 10. So I was like a strong player, maybe not the best at that any age category, but I was always in the striking range. I was a player. So I was always, so it was never a question of like the professional like evlo improve panna mudiyumo, we can improve. And I had an interest for the game. So, and parents were willing to support the interest. Adanal I just kept progressing. And my first international medal, I think it came in under 9 in Calicut. I played at Asian under 9 or 10. I won a silver medal. So அதுல தான் first international medal வந்தது. So அப்படியே அப்புறம் like step by step. So the support of parents was like, they were like தொடர்ந்து like okay, if you're interested, keep playing, அதுக்கான training அது எல்லாத்துக்குமே they ensured that I got that அதான். So that's how the whole story started to say. ஆமா, so never I really thought like இதை நம்ம ப்ரொஃபஷனலா எடுக்க போறோமா அப்படின்லாம். It was just going with the flow மாதிரி. Kept enjoying, still I enjoy the game. Yeah.
Super. So like, what is your highest achievement, or what do you consider as your, like, this is the highest I have achieved, or which tournament is so special?
Okay, so from an individual game perspective, my most memorable game is the one I played with Fabiano Caruana. For people who don't know who he is, he's a former world championship challenger. I mean, he's the previous, most recent world championship challenger and world number 2 and like US number 1. Very famous player. I played him in a classical game and I drew him. Classical now, or long time control game, not a shorter one, but a 4-hour plus game. And in the end, even I had some chances to win on the Maldi, but he initially I was worse. I was defending. Didirna he went into time trouble. He gave me some chances, and if he had played one more wrong, I would have won. But he found the right defense in time trouble also, and the game ended in a draw. So that's my individually best performance as a game. I would say. As a tournament, I would definitely say my first tournament where I got my GM knock. This was a tournament where first round I started with a draw, and second round second round I won, third round I lost. So I was starting with 1.5 out of 3, and GM நாம் வாங்குறது அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு poor start. அதுவும் I was playing with like players who are lower in strength than me, lower rated than me. So அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு tournament you can't finish at the top if you start so poorly. But then I had an amazing run. I ended up scoring 7.5 out of 9 or something. 7 out of 9 or 7. Basically, I won all my other games after that. And I ended up getting my first GM nom. This was Chicago Open in 2014. And this was my biggest tournament victory. And the Chicago Open is a very, very prestigious tournament. Like historically, பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பெரிய பெரிய கிராண்ட் மாஸ்டர்ஸ்லாம் ஒரு காலத்தில் ஜெயிச்சிருக்காங்க, or they have shared the title. So being among if you see the list of the names, my name will also be there. It's a very precious, memorable moment for me. And also it got my first GM now. That was like after a long journey to GM, the first step I managed to get in there. Yeah. So that's a very, very memorable moment.
Nice. Cool, bro. It's like Fabi is the highest rated player you have ever played.
Yes, I have played.
Okay.
அதுக்கு மேல highest rated கால்சன் ஒருத்தர் தான் இருக்கு.
Okay, he is the second highest rated in the world, highest, I mean
live. I think Kasparov achieved in like historical ratings, high rating, like more than Caruana, I believe.
Okay, but
Kasparov
still
had a higher rating.
Carlsen is the all
in the generation இப்ப பாத்தீங்கன்னா Carlsen is all time high, and then I think in this right now it's Caruana number 2 clearly.
Okay, super bro. You must have felt good. அது Chicago Openல தான் அது நடந்தது. That was the tournament.
I played Caruana in a tournament called Millionaire Open. That was in Las Vegas. It was in 2016 or 15. I think 2015 I played. Yeah. And the game I kind of like previous day when the pairings சொல்வாங்க, like யாரோட விளையாட போறீங்க. I had a hunch maybe I'll play him because we were in both in same tournaments. I was like, என்ன ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ண முடியும், அவர் அவ்வளோ பெரிய பிளேயர், ரைட்? நான் ரொம்ப கேஷுவலா லைக் ஐ திங்க் த கேம் வாஸ் அட் ஒரு 2:30 அரௌண்ட் லஞ்ச் டைம்க்கு அரௌண்ட். நான் ஒரு 10 o'clock காலையில முழிக்கிறேன். ஐ சி த பேரிங் ஃபேபியானோ கருவானான்னு. ஓகே நம்ம என்ன வேணாலும் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணாலும் ஒன்றும் லைக் ஒரு 2 மணி நேரத்தில் ஒன்றும் பண்ணிட முடியாது. ஐ ஸ்டேட் லைக் பிட் ஃபார் அவே. ஸோ அட் லைக் அரௌண்ட் 12:30 போல அட்லீஸ்ட் 2 hours என்ன ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ண முடியும்? சரி சும்மா கேஷுவலா நம்ம மைண்டை கிளியரா வச்சுட்டு போய் விளையாடுவோம் அப்படின்னா. The most important game of my life I didn't prepare, which is like the funniest thing. சின்ன game கூட உட்கார்ந்து அவ்வளோ ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்றேன்னா it's like but I think that because I think this is also in general a big psychology thing, right? Like when you have less pressure, like you are just playing to show, okay, I'll play, whatever happens I'll take it. But if you unnecessarily add your pressure, like I have to perform both, you feel the pressure in many cases and you may do mistakes or like bad way of pressures. So I think that's one reason why I played, even though I had a very bad position, like positionally I kept defending, and at one point he made a big mistake and he gave me a chance to come back into the game.
You played white or black?
I played black in that game. And kind of the more memorable thing for me from that game is they did live commentary of that. So I still have that somewhere in YouTube, like
Oh,
with video footage of that game. Yeah.
okay.
So
I'll
I have
like
it
to see
saved.
it.
So I watch it whenever I feel like very bored or something. Like, oh wow, the game's like that moment is captured very well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Send me the link sometime. I'll definitely go and
Yeah,
watch.
sure. We'll
But
send that.
Blackler draw against Caruana is not a easy job. Like it's a big deal even for elite level players. It's a
Correct.
good thing.
And on the game முடிச்சிட்டு, I think that was a 2-round day, and the tournament that was the first tournament Caruana is playing in an open tournament in a very long time in US, something like that. After that game, நான் முடிச்சிட்டு second round வரும்போது இவர் Nakamura was coming in, Hikaru Nakamura. He was like, yeah, you played well, something like that. He told me and went. He saw me and I was like, thank you. Yeah, so it was like pretty nice that because obviously Fabiano is playing, everyone watches the game, right? Like, it's a very important,
ஹிகாரோட
strong
விளையாடிருக்கீங்களா?
player. I've talked to him quite a few times, but விளையாண்டதில்ல. Yeah, not played against him.
Okay.
But casual games I've played against Maxim Vacherlagrav. அதாவது சும்மா பிளிட்ஸ் ஃபன்னுக்கு விளையாடுறதுல அரௌண்ட் அவங்களோட I have played for fun.
We have an audience question. Though there are a lot of GMs in India, why are they not able to break into top 10? What is India missing?
I think இதுக்கு ரொம்ப டீடைல்டான ஆன்சர் கொடுக்கணும். So I think it's a very long story, to be honest. இது வந்து it's about a lot of what to say players are in this whole thing. அதாவது நிறைய ஸ்பான்சர்ஸ் இருக்கணும், நிறைய டோர்னமெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கணும், நிறைய எக்ஸ்போஷர் ஃபார் த பிளேயர்ஸ் வேணும். இட்ஸ் அ ஹோல் ecosystem. எல்லாமே இம்ப்ரூவ் ஆனாதான் வந்து லைக் you can produce consistently like high level of players. Like Russia had that for a long time. That's why they dominated the sport. Soviet School of Chess. இன்னைக்கு வரைக்கும் it's a very well known name, Soviet School of Chess.
எனக்கு ரொம்ப நாளா ஒரு டவுட், செஸ் இஸ் a sport or a game?
நான் வந்து I look at it actually as everything, sport, art. In some ways it's
no,
like
under
kind of
what
reflection of
category it will come? Yeah, that is there.
எனக்கு தெரியாது. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் யூடியூப்ல நீங்க வீடியோ சேவ் பண்ணல ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்னு ஒன்னு இருக்கும், கேமிங்னு ஒன்னு இருக்கும். என்ன கேட்டகரின்னு எனக்கு அதுலயே எனக்கு டவுட்டா இருக்கு, ஸ்போர்ட்ஸா கேமிங்ல வருமா அப்படின்னு. So I am not sure. I would consider it as a sport. There is a physical component to it, even though it's not visible because you're just sitting and like not doing any physical exercise. But there are articles to prove that how much calories you burn when you play a game of chess, series of game. Like you burn as much as I think running bunch of kilometers. Or ESPN lo article irukku patti, very well researched article. Yeah, so if anyone is interested, Google like chess player calorie ESPN, you'll find it.
Yeah, it's important to stay fit to play chess. Summa
correct, absolutely.
It's a lot of energy.
Professional level, correct. Yeah, professional level very important.
Thank you for the detailed intro 2 times, and I really appreciate your patience. Yeah. So let's go into the game. Today my idea is to learn at least few things, or at least know what kind of mistakes I'm making, or if I'm able to improve at least one thing from today's stream, I'll be very, very happy and be thankful.
I thought about some ideas for that. When you play game, I will tell that at the start. Yeah.
Sure. So before I play or I start playing you or anybody else, I thought we'll solve some puzzles. Of course, I have taken them. I felt free to take it from your own page, Chess Gyan. For those who don't know, he runs it's an academy, right? Chess Gyan.
Yeah, I run an online chess academy called Chess Gyan. So it's we are doing completely online, coaching kids and adults, like all age categories. But we have around students from 8 countries learning with us. So yeah, now I'm more of a chess trainer than a player. I kind of stopped active play in 2018, and then I started because I also have an undergrad and master's degree in business. So I wanted to combine both my passion and that's how Chess Gyan was born, and so that's how it's progressing. Yeah.
Nice.
So if they want to check, they can just go chessgyan.com. That's where they can find the details.
Cool. Yeah. They post puzzles daily, and I try to solve them. Look at them for 10 minutes, and I feel disappointed about my inability to solve the puzzle and move on with life. So today I am going to crack a few puzzles with the help of the owner.
Who posts the puzzles.
Yeah. So So you create them, or like what is the source?
No, most of these puzzles are taken from real games.
Games.
Like
Oh,
games
okay,
lah.
okay. Game
Like
position.
if we create puzzles, then we call them studies.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
on the real game la nadandaduna, we call it puzzles. If it's composed, we call them studies. So that's a
okay.
different world together. Studies are
Yeah,
more complex in general. Yeah,
yeah.
than puzzles.
They come up with some weird scenarios, right? Like yeah, I've seen some studies which will never happen in a real game for sure.
Exactly. King will be in center of the board, sutti like 10 pieces will stand, and there'll be no checkmate in one. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
most of the time the pawn will promote as a knight. Like what?
Under promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are certain so it's like every player has like unique things, right? Like let's say sila batsman bowler adu mari cricket la adu mari certain composers are known for that, like under promotion kind expert composers ne irukanga, like composers.
Oh, okay,
Like if you see who composed this puzzle, you can be like, oh okay, ivara edo under promotion edo night edo promote பண்ண போறாரு இங்க. இன்னொரு வேற எதுனா இவர்னா வந்து செக்கே இல்லாம ஒரு 4 மூவ் வச்சிருக்க அப்புறம் தான் மேட் அடிப்பான். You can identify by the name of the composer many teams. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll go and start solving puzzles. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
puzzle number 1. Okay. So this is
So
white to
எனக்கு
move.
queen position எங்க இருக்குன்னு மட்டும் சொல்லுங்க. So that I am also on the same puzzle as you are. Let me know.
No. I sent you right on the order 1, 2, 3.
அதுதான் அதுல வந்து okay, so you are on the puzzle where the white queen is on e3 and black queen is on f5. அந்த puzzle இருக்கீங்களா?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So this is white to move, right?
Correct.
Okay.
The side which is you all see on the lower end of the screen is the white, the side to move. Yeah.
So we just need to find the winning move or the next best move in this position.
So generally, if puzzles nu paatha, the objective would be either to checkmate or win material. That would be the objective of puzzles. Yeah.
And
so
mostly,
it's like trying to find the best possible. Yeah.
Correct. In any puzzle, the color to move has the advantage. That is what I have seen. If white
Correct.
to move,
I mean, there are puzzles where it would be like to play and draw. Like they may be in a worse position. They have to find the only way to make a draw. But more or less, I think all these puzzles you generally see are like the side to move is winning. Yeah.
Okay.
Like at least easy level puzzles. Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll think out loud and you feel free to bash me whenever I'm making any mistake. Okay, so
yeah, that's I think that's the correct way to learn. If like learning as I said, right, academy we work with a lot of young kids and like ஒரு 10 lesson பண்ணாத அப்புறம் they show progress on the mother. So yeah, I think talking out loud is a very important aspect, so that the coach also, or in general whoever is like better at the game, they can understand your thought process so that they can correct the thought process errors. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So in chess there are 3 principles to follow: check, capture, threats, which I learned.
Okay, and they all are grouped under one thing called forcing moves.
Okay. So the opponent has to play this move to survive. Like, I mean, that is the only move for them. அந்த மாதிரி இல்ல?
அதான் forcing move போது, because you are forcing your opponent to do kind of react something to the move that you are making. So check கொடுத்தா king has to move or check பண்ற piece capture பண்ணும். Capture பண்ணா most of the time it's a recapture பண்ணி ஆகணும், right?
Correct. Okay, yeah.
அதான் threats-உம் அதே தான். இப்ப நீங்க ஏதாவது ஒரு piece attack பண்ணீங்கன்னா அந்த piece நகரலனா you will capture it right next.
Correct.
That's why they all come under the same umbrella of forcing moves. And அதுல வந்து hierarchy இருக்கு. நீங்க சொன்ன order is correct. You generally give the highest priority to check.
Because check is
அப்புறம் capture, அப்புறம் threat.
Okay, fine. Okay, so here our king sounds to be safe, white king. எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு there is no check. Black cannot give any check.
You can't give a check on the black's king. Correct.
Okay. I mean, white king, I'm just saying black cannot give check on white king, right?
No, but we are looking from white to play and win.
No, like, position. Yeah, நமக்கு so what this is how I think. நமக்கு ஏதாவது செக் இருக்கா இல்லையான்னு, செக் வருதா இல்லையான்னு நான் பார்ப்பேன். அதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் I'll just see.
Okay, yeah, that's I think valid enough.
Okay.
அப்படின்னு இல்ல, இப்ப பசில்னு வரையில இப்ப நீங்க பசில்னு எடுத்தீங்கன்னா ஜெனரலா செக்ல இருக்காது king. Puzzles to like when you are looking at puzzles, like okay, if you are playing a real game, you are right, because if you move some piece when you are under a check, you are going to make an illegal move. Okay. But ஆனா பசில்னு வரும்போது generally your king won't be in a check.
Okay, fine. We'll give like 1 or 2 minutes for every puzzle and see. Okay, so what I can see is C2 is hanging, but அது பெரிய பிரச்சனையான்னு தெரியல. Should we defend that? Okay, but that is not going to be of any threat to us. If we give a more bigger threat, he won't care about this C2, right?
Yeah, that is in chess terms we call it counter attack. So if he is attacking something, we counter attack a bigger target. Yeah.
Okay.
And puzzle solving in general to the audience is a very important aspect of getting better at chess. It's like how when you are a physical athlete and you do warm-ups, right? Adu mari, like, puzzles kind of warm up your brain to think sharper during game. Yeah.
Okay, I am thinking queen h6 and bringing rook to h4 and threatening a checkmate.
That's a solid idea. Idea conception wise correct. ஏன்னா வந்து அந்த கிங் ரொம்ப வீக்கா இருக்கு. So you can go queen h6, rook h4 and threaten to take. There are few ways for black can kind of stop the checkmate. Like black defend h7. Like he can go g5, but ரொம்ப weakening இருக்கலாம். Maybe queen h6 to queen h5 கூட ஆடலாம், trying to exchange the queens. அந்த மாதிரி. ஸோ ஜென்ரலாக இப்போ நீங்கள் பசல்ஸ் பார்க்கும்போது இந்த லைக் அதர் தேன் இந்த ஃபோர்சிங் மூவ்ஸ் இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கணும்னா ஆல்சோ லுக் அட் ஜென்ரல் இப்போ ஏதாவது ஒரு பீஸ் வந்து பெக்யூலியராக இருக்கா. ஸோ ஜென்ரலாக இப்போ ஒரு டாக்டிக்ஸ்ன்னு நீங்கள் பசல்ஸ் டாக்டிக்ஸ் எல்லாமே கைண்ட் ஆஃப் த சேம் திங், இன்டர்சேஞ்சபிளி வி யூஸ் த வேர்ட். பார்க்கும்போது ஜென்ரலி 2 areas is where the pieces kind of fall. One வந்து எதிர்லி கம்ப்ளீட்லி அன்ப்ரொடெக்டட், அதாவது டிஃபென்ஸே இல்லாத பீஸ்னா ஈஸிலி இட் வில் ஃபால் ஆஃப், higher probability and the piece you can like capture, or a piece that is very peculiar. Adhaadu, do you find any piece in the position on the black side in normally இந்த இடத்துல இந்த piece இருக்காது, you find it very peculiar? Do you find any such piece, odd one out?
Okay, the knight on e8 is not a good place for the knight, right?
Correct, very passive. Yes.
And it can't come out also because this pawn on e5 is protecting both the squares.
Correct, it's a strong control on the both f6 and d6.
I was also thinking whether the queen is getting trapped if I play rook f4. No.
Kind of, but ana rook f4 ke the queen is not getting immediately trapped. The queen can go
to h5, right? Like h5 pola.
h5 pola, where enge pola the queen?
h5, it can't come to the 4th rank because rook is covering. It can't go to f6 போக முடியாது. g5 போலாம்.
Correct. g5 is a possibility. Where else?
g5 na I can attack with my queen, but he will take my queen and exchange.
இல்ல rook f4 வந்ததனால அந்த g5 square ஓட queen control has been removed. La e3 ல the queen is no more controlling g5, right? Because rook has come in between.
Yeah. Rook no, no, if I attack the queen again by going to g4, rook g4, that doesn't make sense.
That would be a blunder, no? Because you just give your rook for free.
Oh, okay, the queen can take.
Yeah.
That's so blind I become sometimes. Okay, what is the best to
That's
do?
related to that only. I've created some funny techniques, but I think it will work. We'll see when you play the game.
Pushing g4 and attacking the queen.
Okay, what will the queen do? Because g4 in a way is better than rook f4, right? What are the benefits of g4 in comparison
because
to rook f4?
If I push g4, it is like 3 pieces attacking the queen. My queen, rook and the pawn are attacking. I mean, trying to capture it, right? Like the rook entirely covers.
No. What I'm asking is the difference between rook f4 and g4. Both are doing the same logic, attacking the queen. But what is the difference between rook f4 and g4?
That's what, like, it's like one more piece is coming, and like instead of 2 pieces trying to capture the queen or capture like trap the queen, there is 3rd piece also coming, right? அதுதானே
correct. அது actually the right way to put it னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, when you went rook f4, you set queen g5, queen h5 as an option for the queen to
okay,
escape.
it covers the h5 square also, like
It takes away the h5 square and g5 square is still controlled by the e3 queen.
okay, okay.
So it's so that is what I meant by when I asked difference between rook f4 and g4. Objective is the same, but ana the rendu escape square also is like not available for the queen in e4 after g4. But there is still one escape square for the queen on f5. What is that after g4?
It can go to, okay, the queen can't go to g5, h5 is covered by the pawn.
Correct.
Where in the pawn? It can't go to f6. F6 is covered.
Yeah, right.
Okay, it can take this pawn on c2.
Absolutely right. So the pawn on c2 can still be captured. So let's imagine you played g4. Queen has captured the pawn on c2. Now what would you do?
Now rook e2. Rook e2 na it
Okay,
will go
and
to
can the queen go anywhere?
Yeah, it can. Okay, it can't go to b3. A4 is also covered. Yeah, I guess. Okay, it can give a check
Where?
on c1 or b1. Okay, c1, not b1, because b1 is covered. No, c1 is also
Right.
covered. Okay, c1
Yes.
is also covered by the queen. I guess if the queen
Yes.
takes c2, rook. Okay, the move is g4, queen c2, rook e2.
Correct. Rook e2 and the queen is trapped. And that's
Okay.
the solution. So very good. First solution. But as I said, the reason why I initially said this, like look at the pieces that are peculiar. Normally, queen on the f5 லாம் வராது. You look at
Okay.
pieces. So your original idea of rook h4, queen h6 was good, but obviously you also have to see how your opponent reacts, right? Like for every action you try to make, they'll have some sort of their own ideas. But when you play g4, you are forcing the queen to make a decision. Queen has to play c2 because there's no other square. Rook e2, and then the queen is trapped. Yeah.
But generally you don't push g4, right? I mean, because that's like weakening our king's position also. I mean,
Correct.
here
That is very true.
Here you are trapping the queen, it is helping, but generally, okay, if it is necessary, we can.
Generally, you don't push the g4 pawn. So, like g pawn, you need to be very careful. That's actually, it's kind of funny. Around today, around 5:30 only, I posted some videos on my YouTube channel saying why you should not play g3.
Okay.
What's wrong with g3? And here we have g4 on the board. So generally, yeah, better not to push pawns on g4, but it all depends on the circumstances. So if you're going to win a queen, it's okay, right? Because your opponent is not going to checkmate you. So one of the important things in general chessல நம்ம அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கணும்னா நிறைய இது வந்து technically அது வீக்னஸா சொல்லலாம், லைக் அந்த பீஸ் அங்க இருக்க கூடாதுன்னா. பட் இஃப் our opponent cannot exploit that, இப்ப நம்ம g4 ஆடினாலும் நம்ம opponent வந்து ஒரு 15 மூல வந்து நம்ம செக்மேட் பண்ண போறது இல்ல, ரைட்? அவருக்கு எங்க ஸ்டில் வெரி சேஃப். சோ அப்படி இருக்கும்போது you have some liberty to break the rules or the basic principle.
Okay. Fine. Okay, we'll go to the next puzzle.
Okay.
Puzzle number 2.
The white queen is on e2 and black queen is on d8. That puzzle, right?
No, black number 2. What I sent, like queen is on d1.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. Number 2 as puzzle. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
That's the order I'm going to go with. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. The numbering. Okay, I'll look into that. Okay.
So immediately the move that comes to my mind is queen d8 check.
Okay.
He can anyways block with queen f8, right? Or he can go to f7. I mean g7.
Okay.
But that is not helping at all. And, okay, so we have equal material, almost 6 pawns, queen and knight.
So now previous puzzle ஒரு இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் ஒன்று சொன்னேன் உங்களுக்கு, அதாவது
which piece is
when
in
you
the
are
wrong
doing tactics, அது ஒன்று. இன்னொன்று வந்து pieces which are unprotected, the ones generally they fall off. Or so வந்து unprotected அப்படிங்கும்போது you should kind of zoom பண்ணி பார்க்கணும் அந்த pieces மேல.
Okay. Queen d8 check and capture the knight on f6. Okay, no.
If queen f8, yeah, you will capture the knight on f6.
King can come
Ama.
and protect.
King g7 na upper,
uh,
what you can do? Again, look for forcing moves and the moon.
So
Forcing
queen
moves
d8 is the
look
first
for.
move. Queen d8 is correct.
Correct.
Okay, queen d8 check. King g7 only move to protect the knight.
Ama.
Okay, can I give a check using the knight? Knight f6 or knight f5, knight h5. Check na, he will capture.
Correct.
With the pawn. There are no other checks. Queen d8. King
There are
d7.
checks. There are checks. Namana and you are thinking they won't work. Anala, you are not looking at some of the checks seriously.
Okay, there are only two pieces apart from pawns who can check this king. One is queen.
The pawns can't check. Pawns are so far behind. White pawns
Yeah.
are. Only the queen or the knight can check things.
Okay, so the knight check is either f5 போலாம் இல்ல h5 போலாம், பட் ஆனா கேப்சர் பண்றாங்க. Okay,
Okay,
let's
so
say
இப்ப நம்ம அந்த undefended பீசஸ்னா சொல்லும்போது அதோட டெஃபினிஷன் வந்து கொஞ்சம் ஸ்லைட்டா மாடிஃபை ஆகும். ஜெனரலா இப்ப வந்து ஒரு பீஸ் அட்டாக் பண்ணி ஒரு பீஸ் டிஃபெண்ட் பண்ணுதுன்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க. the knight on f6, let's say the knight on f6, you see, right? There's one queen attacking the knight, the king is defending the knight. So now with this, what do you think? Do you think that knight is now defended or undefended, the knight on f6?
Okay, since the king is defending it, it is not a safe way to defend because king is so vulnerable, so it has to move. If check kudutha move.
Not really. No. So the idea is, if immediately, let's say if I attack a piece and you are defending it, one attacker, one defender, let's keep it one attacker, one defender, and let's say you give me two moves back to back, rather I get the second move and third move without my opponent getting a turn.
Okay.
So if I can put one additional move, so hypothetically imagine I go queen d8 check, you go king g7, and then I play knight takes e4 and I play queen takes f6 without any black move in between. Right? So
okay.
the point is, 1:1 attacker is also that whatever piece that is being attacked is still technically undefended.
Okay.
So if we'll say a piece is defended when there is one attacker and let's say two defenders, then it is okay.
Okay.
I know it's complex concept, but doesn't technically make some logical sense. The point is, imagine if I get, imagine you are giving me a superpower that I go one move and immediately I can make my second move.
Okay. So here you
but
want
if
me
imagine
to...
if, yeah.
Here you want me to find that
yeah.
what is the immediate second move without him, the opponent, making the move.
No. What I'm saying is, so in that case, focus on the pieces that are undefended. So after queen d8, king g7, the knight on f6 is still undefended technically.
Okay.
So after queen d8, king g7, you first tell me which are the pieces that are undefended in black's position. First, try give me a list of pieces and pawns.
Okay. A7 is undefended.
Correct. Because no attacker, no defender. So do you see the logic here? If correct 0-0, but still you say it is undefended.
Okay.
The same logic you should apply for the knight on f6. Because it's one attacker, one defender.
So it's still, okay. So if I bring another attacker to that knight, which is like 2-1.
And if it was your move again, you would win that piece.
Correct.
So even if you want to target the a7 pawn, let's say you give queen d8 check, king g7, and you go queen a8, queen takes a7, you capture the pawn, right? Like immediately if you had two moves, strength to make two moves.
Correct.
So like that a7 pawn, what else is undefended in that position?
E4 pawn is also defended. I mean the knight is defending it. Okay, one defender, one
e4 is undefended.
Okay, this knight is defending, right? Like if I take
yes,
e4,
so there's one attacker, one defender, correct?
So let's say, okay, according to this theory, if I take e4, knight takes e4, my knight is
you
gone,
can't
right?
take it immediately. Yes, you can't take immediately. But imagine if you had an ability to do something. Let's say, imagine you had magically you had a move like some f3 and f3 you played, and next move you also had ability to play knight takes e4.
Okay,
You
okay.
would capture, because when Appa when the knight on e4, if he captures back, he'll capture back with your pawn, right, on the knight on e4.
Okay, okay. But the thing is,
Like
we
how
won't
did
get,
you
we
can
won't,
you
we
tell me, how
won't,
did you identify a7 as weakness? You tell me that. I think you'll get the answer. How did you identify a7?
because there is nobody, if I take it, nobody is there to come and capture my piece which takes a7.
Yeah, but you don't have any piece that can go and take that pawn right now, right, in this position.
Ah, okay, but okay. So,
You need two
okay,
moves to even capture a7, right? In
correct,
this
correct.
position, can your queen on d1 jump to a7 right away? No, right? You have to
No,
go
no,
queen a4, then go queen a7.
correct, correct.
Adhe
So,
logic apply for e4. So if you want to capture e4, go queen b1, knight e4. Rendu move.
oh, okay, okay. So taking this pawn is the answer for the puzzle, or okay? No, you said queen d8 is the first move. Okay, queen d8.
First move is queen d8, king g7, and the a7 pawn is undefended. E4 pawn you said defended, but e4 pawn is also undefended. And there's one more piece which is undefended in the position.
The knight on
You
f6.
have found two. Yes, this three. So why I am mentioning this is, as I said earlier, generally undefended pieces, like if you focus your energy, you will find these tactics faster.
Okay. So like, I still don't understand how f6 knight is not defended. Because you are saying one
Okay.
attacker, one defender,
Uh-huh.
the,
Uh-huh.
the equation is there, but if, say for
Yeah.
example, I play queen d8,
Uh,
king g7,
uh,
I take the
uh.
knight on f6, my queen is
Okay.
gone, right? Like,
Okay, keep continuing that line. Queen takes knight, then what will black do?
uh, oh, okay, okay, okay. Then I take knight e4 and fork the king and the queen.
Yeah, and then he has to move his king. Then what happens? You take the queen, right?
I take the queen.
And out of
So
all
it's
this
okay,
capture,
okay.
what did you come out with? You
So
came
this
without with an extra pawn.
correct, correct. And okay, also my knight, I will have an extra knight at the end of the. Okay,
No, your knight on c5 will be captured by the opponent pawn on b6. No, at the end of that
okay,
line.
okay, okay. Then I'll play this end game with one additional pawn. That
One
is the.
additional pawn, which is a simple win. Because you have more pawns, you can promote your pawn to a queen and win the game.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay, fine. So queen d8, king g7, queen takes f6, king takes f6, knight e4 check, forking the king and queen, knight takes c5, pawn takes c5.
Yes.
Okay. இந்த ஒரு
That's the
பானுக்கு
solution.
இவ்வளோ போராட்டமா ஓகே பட்
And அந்த ஒரு பான் தான் ஃபியூச்சர்ல queen ஆகி நம்ம கேமை ஜெயிக்க வைக்கும். That's the point.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, this was a very informative puzzle. Like it actually gave me some interesting information how to.
Okay, so like think in this perspective, the third puzzle also.
Okay, fine.
The same perspective.
White to move. Okay, the rook is hanging. Rook a8. எடுத்தா என்ன ஆகும்?
Good question. எடுத்தா என்ன ஆகும்?
Is there any check for my king?
You're on the right track.
Oh, okay. என்ன ஆகும்னா he will take bishop h2 and check and take my queen.
Correct. Absolutely right. So you take the rook, he'll use his bishop, capture the pawn on h2, which will be a check. You have to respond as it's a forcing move, then you will lose your queen if you are playing. Correct.
Say I take king h2 or knight takes h2. Okay. But still, is that a good exchange, rook and a bishop for a queen?
No. Numerically பார்த்தா ரூக்குக்கு 5 பாயிண்ட், பிஷப்
இதுக்கு பாயிண்ட். ஓகே, நமக்கு ஒரு குயினும் போச்சு, ஒரு பானும் போச்சு. ஸோ 10:8. இட்ஸ் நாட் அ.
ஆமா. So you if you count the pawn also. Even without that, generally rook and okay, and we have a rook and knight here for the queen, which is still generally rook and bishop is a stronger combination than a rook and knight. Even though mind piece bishop and knight are both same strength, the power of rook and bishop work well together than the rook and knight.
That rook and bishop, it functions like a queen, right? Like queen.
Correct. That is why. That is the point. I mean, technically yes, but it has to. You need to make two moves to make the same move that as a queen does.
Queen. Okay.
You have the same power, but you can't move them at the same one move both against.
Okay.
That is why it's slightly worse than a queen.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So now here, okay. So queen takes a8 is not correct. So I feel like putting my knight on e5. So that இந்த f7 pawn double attack பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கு.
Okay, so இங்க வந்து important thing. Again, I think this again goes back to the first puzzle. I'll repeat. நம்ம எப்படி opponent pieces undefended இருக்கிறத focus பண்ணணுமோ அதே மாதிரி our opponent will also focus on our pieces which are undefended, right? Okay. So one of the if you think about it, most of the mistakes or games which you have played and let's say you have lost, if you think about it, without blunder la game would have ended. You would have blundered a piece, blundered a queen, or blundered some heavy material. So இப்போ வந்து நம்ம எதுவுமே பண்ணாமே ஜெயிக்க முடியும். நம்ம ஆப்போனன்ட்டே எல்லா பண்ணியும் நம்ம அவங்க தோத்துடலாம். எப்படின்னா நம்ம ஒன்றும் பண்ணாம தப்பு பண்ணாம இருக்கணும். நம்ம மிஸ்டேக் பண்ணாம இருந்தா we don't make any blunders. Our opponent itself will make the blunders for us.
Okay.
It's like we don't have to proactively try to beat them. We just have to patiently wait to make them make mistakes.
Okay, and also
so if you go knight e5, what happens? The knight if you
okay, the bishop will take the knight. I did not see that.
Yeah. The knight on f3 is protected. Why do you want to put that knight on e5 where it is unprotected, undefended?
But anyways, at some point நம்ம மூவ் பண்ணி தான ஆகணும் to I mean
yes, at some point மூவ் பண்ணி தான் ஆகணும். But in general இப்போ நம்ம வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கத்துக்கும்போது our core idea should be to reduce the number of piece blunders we do. அது பண்ணாலே நிறைய கேம் ஜெயிக்கலாம்.
Knight g5 is a good move, good place for the knight, good square. I mean, I feel like attacking this f7 pawn because okay, anyways queen is protecting. Okay, fine. Taking on e6 bishop, I mean pawn takes e6.
So I'll give some way to think it. So you did calculate queen a8, bishop h2 and you rejected it, right? Because you're losing a queen. But we should not reject that whole, and the pakkame you did not go after that. You said, okay, that's it, I'm not going there. We should not generally think like that. So we should try to see, okay, I can't make that whatever line that I want to play now. Is there a way I can, make it work?
Okay.
A different way.
Okay,
so fine. You should not discard the idea. Idea வந்து ஒரு லைன்ல ஒரு verse with variation பார்த்த உடனே you should not discard just because it's not working. You should try to make it work in a different form. It could work.
Okay, fine. Let's calculate. Queen takes a8, bishop h2, king h2.
Queen a8.
Queen
and
takes a8.
Yeah.
Queen takes a8.
And after that, there is not much. No, that's just a rook and knight. Kind of very straightforward.
Rook and knight against queen. So
இப்போ நீங்க வந்து
இப்போ knight e4 வரலாமா, knight e5 வரலாமா?
No. But அப்ப வந்தாலும் you only have a rook and knight against the queen. You can't do much on the position.
So that line itself is wrong, right?
That line itself is technically dead. ஆமா, அந்த line is dead. But ஆனா keep the idea of queen a8 there. But don't execute it. Try to make, if you could do something else to make that line work. இப்போ வந்து queen a8 immediately work ஆகலனாலும் maybe you can try to do something. And why is queen a8 not working? What is the reason why it's not working?
Because the queen on f8 is there attacking our queen. If a number queen a8,
that is one way. Or the bishop on b8 has a check on h2.
Okay.
Right.
So
if you could stop either of these ideas, you could make queen a8 work.
Okay, so g3 g3
விளையாடலாம். bishop நகர்ந்து வந்துரும். சும்மா he'll move the bishop and then the queen and rook is supported.
Okay.
So you should try to find a move where the bishop can't move easily, and so that the next move you can capture the rook on it. Because the rook is trapped as of now on a8.
Okay, so knight e5 is the answer. knight e5.
நைட் e5 னா ஃப்ரீயா நைட் கொடுத்துட்டீங்களே. நீங்க ஃப்ரீயா கொடுக்காதீங்கன்னா சொல்றீங்க. Don't give the
Okay,
knight
I
first
thought
place.
knight will block the diagonal. Okay, அவன் எடுத்துருவானா?
ஆமா, and then the queen supports the rook.
Correct. Okay, so what other ways to stop this bishop?
And out of the box I also you can find them.
d6.
Okay, what will black play?
d6. If he takes it with okay, d6, bishop d6.
Okay.
Rook takes d6.
Okay. Can he play queen takes d6 as black?
Queen takes panna he can't, because if he take queen takes d6, then rook takes d6 la. Rook takes queen.
No, d6, bishop takes d6. White plays rook takes d6. Now it's black's turn. Black plays queen takes d6.
Queen takes rook on d6. அப்படி எடுத்தா I will take rook and I will give a check.
Yes, correct. And you ended up with an extra knight, extra minor piece.
Okay. So okay, fine. So basically the idea is okay, this is the line.
Yes, d6. So the point is, by pushing the pawn on d5 to d6, you are blocking that bishop's check on h2. So the bishop comes to d6, and now apply that.
Okay, why should the bishop take on d6? He can't play any other move.
If he plays any other move, how will the rook on a8 will be defended? The rook is already stuck alone, right, on a8.
Okay, like say he pushes h6 or
okay, you'll just capture the a8 rook with your queen.
Oh, okay.
There is no bishop takes h2 check anymore because the pawn moved and came in between.
Fine. The check is prevented. Fine. Got it. So the
and another key thing is after d6, bishop d6, and the pawn position la or confusion or rule irundadilla, like defended undefended. Apply it here and check where the tactic is happening.
Okay, so here
what are the undefended pieces in black position?
Black's position, I mean, from the starting position all pieces are defended, I guess. Rook is not defended.
Rook is technically not defended. A8 rook, yeah, it's not defended. What else?
This pawn is defended. I think just the rook.
There's one more that is not defended on the starting position for black.
Rook to bishop. You can't take the bishop with the queen. That is a blunder. No, you can't
you can't take the bishop with the queen because by the defense logic also it doesn't work, because there's two defenders for the bishop, the queen and the black rook, but you have only one attacker, the white queen.
Okay, so you can't
it's not a weakness.
A7 also you can't take because both.
No.
Okay.
One attacker, two defenders.
Can I take d takes e6?
Yes, one attacker, one defender. And what is the logic? If it's equal attackers and equal defenders, we count that as an undefended piece.
Okay, so if here d takes e6, f takes e6, then see, the thing is, when something is undefended, which abdina enna arthona, we are going to gain that piece, right? If I do d takes e6, correct, f takes e6, it's an exchange.
You haven't gained anything. You're just exchanged the pawn, correct? But ana logic padi pathina, if d takes e6, f e6 ku appuram, if we get a magical power to make two moves back to back, you will go queen d7 and you will play queen takes e6 check, right? Without any move.
Okay.
So the point of it is, in these pieces that are undefended is where generally tactics will happen. So imagine just imagine you are pushing, or there's a door. You are pushing from one side, the other side, and the other guy is holding the door from not going front and back. திடீர்னு உங்க சைடுல இருந்து இன்னொரு ஒரு ஆள் வந்து உடனே தள்ளினார்னா உங்க சைடுல ஃபேவரா முடிஞ்சிரும்ல, because the door will open.
Okay.
இப்ப டோருக்கு ரெண்டு சைடுலயும் ஆளே இல்லைனா door will be stagnant as it is.
True.
Right. அதுதான் லாஜிக். அப்ப வந்து நீங்க ஆக்கலாம், அப்ப அந்த சைடுல இருந்து வந்து ஒருத்தர் டிஃபெண்ட் பண்ணாருன்னா ஈக்குவல் ஆயிரும்ல, பேலன்ஸ் மெயின்டைன் ஆயிரும்ல. But the thing is, the point is, what we say is like, chessல வந்து white moves first, right? So if you give that first push இங்க புஷ் கொடுக்கறதுக்குள்ள ஆப்போனன்ட் வந்து டிஃபெண்ட் பண்ற சிச்சுவேஷன் இருக்காங்க இல்லங்கிறது we are not sure. There are scenarios where he may not be able to come and defend when you give that push.
Okay.
So that is why, so if you look at after d6, bishop takes d6, and this marking of what we marked, right, the a8 rook e6, it changes with every move, right? After you play d6, e6 is not a weakness, right? It's not undefended anymore.
Okay, so
because there is zero attackers, but only one, there's a defender on the pawn.
So bishop takes d6 is a forced move, right?
To defend the a8 rook, yes.
Okay. Okay, fine. So if the bishop moves, to save the rook, it has to move with a check. But we are preventing the check and winning material. Okay, super.
And after bishop d6, I'll just explain. And the bishop on d6 now is an undefended piece, if you notice, right? ஏன்னா ஒரு attacker on d1, ஒரு defender on queen on f8.
Okay. But
the rook on e8 is undefended because ஒரு attacker with the queen, ஒரு defender by the queen.
Okay, so the queen is like overloaded to defend both the pieces.
Correct.
அதனால we are
Absolutely
using
right. The technical term அந்த இடத்துல சொன்னா overloaded piece. Yes.
So we are using that as a weakness and capturing. Okay.
But always that majority of the time the tactics will happen on the pieces that are unprotected or undefended.
Say for example there is no rook on a8, okay? I play d6 and d6 play பண்றேன். So that will become a free pawn for, like, say the bishop takes d6, the rook can't.
That will be a free pawn then.
So in what I'm trying to say is, by your logic, one attacker, one defender, correct? But here I'm taking a bishop and giving a rook. That is not a good exchange. So even if the attacker and defender has to be of same strength, or
no, that doesn't matter. So if, for example, like after d6, bishop takes d6, when if I am marking the unprotected pieces, now I will also mark the a7 pawn. There's the queen attacking the a7 pawn, the rook defending the a7 pawn. One attacker, one defender. That's all counts. It doesn't matter the quality of the attacker, if it's a stronger attacker or a weaker attacker. If it's one attacker, one defender, that is like you mark them as a potential target. That's it's like, you are marking them. Maybe in that we can do something on them.
So when you say marking, you mean that you can bring one more attacker to increase the attack.
Yeah, that you are marking. If I bring one more attacker, I will be able to capture that piece without any big consequences. Generally.
So we should think in a way that what all pieces we can direct towards that square to increase the attack on that particular piece.
Yeah. So in a position, imagine if there is 10 pieces you can target, you should target the one that will give you the most reward for targeting.
Okay. So like while calculating this, say like there is one attacker, one defender, we are planning to bring one more piece to that attacker as an attacker to that piece, so that it will become 2-1 and we will be at advantage. So should we also consider opponent's way of bringing one more? He also can bring one more defender to that square, right?
Correct. You should calculate. Yes, you should calculate. In scenarios, there could be things where he could not come and bring a defender.
Okay. So the thing is, we should calculate like what defender he can bring and stop that defender. Like how we stopped this check on h2. We should make a move so that his. Okay. Fine.
So in the position, if you wanted to defend h2, you could do multiple ways. You can play h3, king h1, king f1. But all those won't serve the purpose that we are looking for.
So we want to stop the check.
We want to stop the check. At the same way, we want to bring the bishop to d6 so we can use our rook. Because with that d6 bishop also becomes a weakness, which earlier it was not. Because b8 late was well protected, the b8 bishop. If that makes sense.
Yeah, fine. So here, for example, say I am playing g3 here instead of d6. That is again our idea is to prevent the check on h2. g3 also prevents the check.
Correct. What will black play for g3?
Okay.
Because his rook is hanging.
He will say he plays bishop d6.
Yes. Okay.
Bishop
what will
d6.
you play as white?
I can't take the rook because my queen will be hanging.
Yeah, and you can't take the bishop because there's a pawn in between the rook and bishop.
Yeah.
So your best try would be to capture the pawn there, the e6 pawn.
Okay, okay.
And in that line, you'll end up with an extra pawn instead of extra piece that you ended up in this line.
Okay, okay, okay. So here.
So
Okay,
pawn, if it's a bigger pawn persa, piece persa, obviously the piece is the bigger value, right?
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess I asked this already, but let me ask again. I forgot the answer. So, I push d6. What if the bishop? Okay, the bishop has to move so that the rook is protected. Okay, fine. That is the idea.
If the black can play any move, but then you just simply capture the rook on a6. Yeah.
So the bishop has to move, but he should. We are making sure that he doesn't move with a check. That is the idea. Okay, fine.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So we'll solve 2 more puzzles and then I'll play a game with you.
Okay.
And we'll end. Okay, so it's already 8.
Okay.
Okay, so puzzle number 4. What is hanging here? Okay. Our knight.
First, try to mark that undefended things. I think that would help you.
Okay.
Puzzle solve panela.
So whenever I see a puzzle, I'll see whether the material is equal or like who is having material advantage. So that is a correct.
அதெல்லாம் வந்து puzzlesலாம் நம்ம தேவையில்லை. So puzzle solve பண்ற mentalityயும் நம்ம game விளையாடுற mentalityயும் should be different.
Okay.
It's not the same. ஏன்னா puzzle வந்து we are just it's already kind of game mode you are experiencing the whole range of emotions, opening, middle game, end game எல்லாம். Puzzle is just a snapshot தானே, ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு portion of the game. It's where you are looking at something decisive. So generally puzzle is to make your brains work faster. That's the idea of puzzles, right? You want to make them think more logically. So when you are solving puzzles, look at the objective is generally to do something very forcing.
Okay.
In the puzzle position.
Okay, so here what I could see is c6 pawn I can take with the bishop if I move this knight. But if I move the knight and attack it, he will defend with something, probably rook c8 or something.
No, you don't even have to think like that. You just have to say, okay, c6 pawn is a weakness. I don't know how I'll exploit it, but it is a weakness.
Okay.
So just think c6 is a weakness.
Okay, c6 is a weakness here. But to make it as a weakness, I have to move this knight, right? Only then I will get at least one attacker to that pawn. It is not, right now it is 0-0 on c6 pawn.
That is still, in our definition, it counts as undefended.
Okay.
0 attacker, 0 defender. 1 attacker, 1 defender is also undefended.
Say
2 attacker, 2 defender is also undefended.
Say I play knight g5, so it will become 1-0.
Yeah. And black, if he defends bishop b5 again, or he pushes the pawn to d5, then c6 is kind of.
Okay, it will neutralize.
Immediately target. Yeah.
Okay, so if he pushes c5, we can take, right? B takes c5. Okay, that will be an exchange. Okay, what other?
And generally, puzzle solve பண்ணும்போது look at forcing moves. Knight g5 லாம் ஒரு forcing move கிடையாது. You are just moving the knight away.
Okay.
Look for something more concrete, check, capture, or a threat.
Okay, let's check. Queen h6 is not a good check because queen will be hanging. Okay. I have this queen c3 check.
Okay.
But what is it achieving? Okay, so okay, I'll push b5.
Okay, what is the idea?
I'll push b5, and if he takes, or like the bishop on a6 is being attacked, so he has to take with the c pawn or with the bishop.
Okay.
And then I'll give queen c3 check and capture this knight.
If you want, you can directly capture the knight also, but the bishop is defending the knight.
That's why
So
I'm
why do you want
pushing.
to give a check and capture? But it doesn't change anything on the night, right? Because anyway it had
Okay,
one
okay.
defender even at the starting.
Okay, check is okay, fine, fine. I can directly capture if I fine.
If your idea was to capture, you should just it doesn't change anything by giving the pawn, giving a check and then capturing. Anyway, you
No,
will lose the queen in all the lines in
no, like
that variation.
now, see, no, I'm just pushing b5, my b5 pawn to b5, and
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, fine, fine. The knight is anyways will be defended, right? Okay, okay, fine,
Yeah.
fine.
It has already defended. B5 kapra you may even get more defended if he captures with the C pawn.
Correct, correct.
It'll be
Fine,
like
fine.
double defended. Yeah.
I don't know. Suddenly I became blind there. Okay, this knight is not going to help anything. I don't know what you can do. Okay, so here d6 pawn. There are two attackers, two defenders. So basically not defended. I mean, the number is equal, 2:2. So how can
Yes,
I?
correct.
So should I
And this
play?
comes with a lot of practice in the marking வந்து it comes with a lot of practice. ஒவ்வொரு பொசிஷன் பண்ணும்போது பண்ணிட்டே இருந்தாதான் you get very good at it. Yeah.
So I'll put queen c4, queen f4, and
இல்ல சோ நீங்க வந்து when you are thinking இப்ப எப்படி யோசிக்கணும்னா you should not be thinking okay now it's 2-2 so how can I increase my pressure on d6 immediately. So first you should do is what you are currently thinking is you first thought okay c6 pawn is weak, is there a way I can go and attack? You started calculating how to target c6 pawn. Then you saw okay the c4 knight is weak, how can I attack the c4 knight? You started calculating like that. You shouldn't do like that. What you should first do, you should take a list. என்னெல்லாம் வீக்னஸ்னு லிஸ்ட் எடுத்துக்கணும். அதுக்கு அப்புறம் யாரை டார்கெட் பண்ணணும் நம்ம டிசைட் பண்ணணும். We should focus this way. So first take the list, which are all the things that you think are weak on black side, which are undefended.
Okay, so c6 is undefended. It is like no attacker, no defender, so it's undefended. And d6, two attackers, two defenders.
So it's undefended.
Okay. And one more point is our knight is being attacked here on e4.
That is true, but it is our move only. So we'll do something with the knight. First we'll take the list of the opponent's undefended pieces.
But okay, so before trying to capture the opponent's piece, number piece first we have to make it safe.
அப்படின்னு இல்ல ஜெனரலா இப்ப செஸ்ல வந்து the best way of defense is generally counter attack.
Okay,
generally,
so
if they attack yours, if they attack something of yours, instead of directly going and immediately defending, we should try our best to counter attack.
So if I okay, say if I attack their knight or rook or something bigger or equal material, that is okay, fine, got the point.
Yeah. It's a very common beginner mistake or a general starting mistake. Something is attacked, ordinarily they go and defend the players. They'll be like, oh, okay, attack actually defend பண்ணனும்னு. But ஆனா வந்து stronger player games பாத்தீங்கன்னா the first preference they would give is if I can counter attack my opponent's pieces. If that doesn't work out, there is no good counter attacking options, then you go for defending options.
Okay, got it. Okay, so I'm just
so you marked two of the pawns. Appuram you stopped the marking.
Yeah.
What else?
What else is weak? The rooks. I mean, most other pieces are also with 0-0. So like queen is 0-0.
Yeah, queen is you should mark. What else?
I mean, both the rooks are 0-0. Like it's not attack, not. I mean, okay.
No, the rooks are defended.
I mean,
defending each other.
Okay. Okay, fine. This rook is defended by this rook, and this rook is defended thrice.
That's true. So you can't mark them.
Okay, so this bishop on a6 is 0-0.
Right. So that is a target. What else?
And a4 pawn.
Correct. What else?
A4 pawn and this f5 is defended once. I mean twice. The rook and the.
F5 is defended twice. No, 0 attacker. So you don't even have to worry. It's not a target that you can
So
attack. Yeah.
right now the target is a6 bishop, a4 pawn, c6, d6.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So these 4 pieces, right?
Queen on e7 also you did mention initially.
Okay.
And
okay.
one more piece, which is you did not mention so far. I'm giving you the kind of the simplified definition of this. Once you master this, additional levels of complexity of marking will be there. But ipadeki in the level da. So there is another piece which you did not mention, which is the c4 knight.
c4, okay, one attacker, okay,
Or
okay.
attacker or a defender.
So I was just thinking 0-0. Like the idea is to
0-0.
have a balance. Okay, even if
Have
it is
0-0 or more attackers than defenders. 0-0
Okay.
or more attackers than defenders. Both count.
Fine.
You should just not have negative. It's like not weak. Tough to attack that. Yeah.
Okay, so now we mark all this and எது அட்டாக் பண்றது
next step என்ன பண்ணனும்னா இப்போ வந்து மார்க் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் you should like try to see if there's any cluster. இப்போ ஒரு இடத்துல சுத்தி பல வீக்னஸ் இருந்துன்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க. Like சுத்தி இப்போ if you have, let's imagine you are attacking or let's say you are the lion. Let's assume you are the lion. Sutti you have like any animal you can hunt, right? You'll generally be like going to the place where you can hunt the most, right?
Correct.
Where there's lot of animals. Same logic. So you see where the cluster of weakness is more. Focus your energy there. Because ஏதோ ஒன்னு சிக்காட்டியும் இன்னொன்னு ஒன்னு சிக்கிரும் அந்த அட்டாக் பண்ணல when you attack it.
Okay, I got it.
So what I mean is like even if you aim some random target, it will just like you may end up with winning something at the eventually, because there's a lot of weaknesses clustered together, and your opponent cannot defend all the weaknesses at the same time generally, right? If you have one weakness, he can immediately go defend. If the 2 weaknesses, maybe he can defend, but all of a sudden 10 weaknesses you're attacking now, he can go defend one by one then, or maybe 2 at a time. He can't go defend all the 10 at the same time.
But so the at the end of the thing, we only have one move to make, so we can't attack all 10 at the same time, right? Even if we find 10 weakness.
But look at where do you see the cluster of weaknesses in the ones that you marked?
Okay.
There's a cluster, if you notice.
Cluster in the sense like too many pieces or potential of gaining.
Yeah, together are all high. Imagine in your mind you have highlighted the knight, the bishop, the pawns that you mentioned. All are highlighted. Where do you see those highlights closer together? Like next to each other. A lot of the highlights, not just like one highlight here and there, but clustered together, grouped together.
Okay.
There is one set of cluster there, which is very easily you can identify if you look at it.
By cluster you mean like they are all together, or like what are you trying to say?
They are all like right next to each other and they are all weak.
Okay. அப்படி எதுவும் தெரிய மாட்டேங்குதே.
For example, நான் இப்ப சொல்லவா, do you want to think about it?
Wait, let me think. So
Yeah.
If I play our knight to d2, that is like attacking this knight twice. So we are also defending our knight and bringing it as an attacker to this knight.
Correct. இல்ல நம்ம மூவ் திங்க் பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஜெனரலா வந்து இப்ப பேசிக் லாஜிக் எப்ப we use this example often. If you want to, let's say, if you just simply take a car and drive now, if you don't know your end destination, you will just keep driving, right?
True.
So you should have the objective. What is your end goal, right? Okay. So if in the marking பண்றது எல்லாமே is to find our objective. Once we know our objective, for example, the previous position our objective was very clear at the start, which is how can we capture that A8 rook.
Okay. Oh, here.
So once we got that objective, we managed to get the things to ensure that happens. எப்படியோ we'll try our best to make that happen once we have our objective. The same logic here. Yeah.
But here, okay, so we have found our weakness: a6 bishop, a4 pawn, the c4, c6, d6, and the queen. Okay, queen.
Yeah.
Queen. Okay. So now for now we can't do anything about the queen, right? So
Okay, but if I no, don't think like can we do something to the queen? Where do you see the cluster? And the other lot of weaknesses right next to each other.
so
Okay,
so
for example, I'll say which is not a cluster. I'll say one which is not a cluster. For
queen
example,
e7
if
is
you
not
look
a.
at the if you look at the c4 knight and a4 knight, they are not a cluster. They are kind of far away. They are not next to each other, but both of them are weakness.
You mean c4 knight and a4 pawn?
Yeah, they are not a cluster. They
Okay,
are
so
away
our
from each other.
c6 d6 is.
Yeah, c6 d6 queen on e7.
Okay.
This is a cluster.
Okay.
அடுத்தடுத்து weakness.
Okay, okay. Okay, fine.
So if a higher probability is in that weak area that you can do something.
Okay, so
Pure mathematics தான் இது.
Okay, so the first move will be knight d6.
Brilliant.
Knight d6. Okay, so
What will black play?
Black, he can take our knight.
Okay, now white
takes
try to
d6.
find a move for white.
White will take c6.
With the queen. Right?
Or with the bishop also, right? Both.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
take with the both,
with the
but
queen.
will you take with the queen or the bishop? Which one
No,
will
no.
you do?
Queen, because it will also attack a6 bishop.
Correct. A6 attacks and also at the same time it attacks d6.
Okay.
So you are double attacked, right?
Okay.
And whatever black does, you will pick up one of that minor pieces, either the bishop or the knight.
Oh, okay.
And the combination of this was you ended up winning 2 extra pawns. D6 pawn and C6 pawn.
Okay. So knight d6.
And if you noticed, the pieces that were involved in this tactic were all that unprotected pieces we marked. We targeted the d6 pawn. We targeted the c6 pawn. We targeted the c4 knight when it was on d6. We targeted the a6 bishop as it was set.
Okay.
Got it. Pattern.
So by cluster you mean like too many weaknesses in the adjacent squares very nearby, so that
nearby. Yeah.
So in that sense, white does not have any weakness here, like
White currently have weaknesses, but they're not all clustered. For example, you can say the e4 knight is a weakness. You can say the b4 pawn is a weakness. The a2 pawn is a weakness.
Okay.
But they're all not clustered together.
Okay. Got it.
அடுத்தடுத்து இருக்கும்போது நீங்க ஏதோ ஒன்னு எய்ம் பண்ணி when you played queen c6, maybe your aim was actually to only take on d6, but by luck you are also attacking a6 because it's also weak.
Got it.
It is like you're getting into in between the cluster, so you can attack anything you want, something like that, if you want to say.
Okay. Fine, got it. So the solution is knight d6, and what if he doesn't take? We are just gaining a pawn.
Yeah, you are happy with one pawn. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
இவ்வளவு பண்ணி ஒரு pawn ஜெயிச்சிக்கலாம்.
Okay.
I mean, but not just one pawn, you'll also win the c6 pawn in the future. You know, like after knight d6, black has to make something because the knight on c4, if not, you will capture the next move. Knight d6 to c4.
Right? Okay.
So black has to react something to it.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Last puzzle for today before we play one game. Okay, so again white to move. Okay, so I'll go with the steps. I'll calculate what are the weaknesses here. This rook is not attacked but defended once, so not a weakness. This pawn is defended once but not attacked. This pawn is defended once. This d7 rook is defended. Bishop is also defended. Queen is defended thrice actually. And this pawn on e6 is defended once. And all these 3 king pawns are defended by the king. So
okay.
Bishop is also defended.
What are the weaknesses?
So now we have to see.
What did you mark as weakness? What are okay. If you want to look at first, I think it's better you first look at left to right. Okay, rook a8. How many attackers? How many defenders? Rook a8, 0 attackers, 1 defender. So eliminated. Pawn on a7. How many attackers? Defenders. 1 defender the rook, 0 attackers, eliminated.
So like rook a8 is not attacked, right? You mean G2?
Yeah, it's not attacked.
Okay, fine.
There's a pawn in between. So you're attacking only the b7 pawn. You're not attacking the a8 rook as well.
So a8 rook is eliminated. Again,
a7 pawn is
a7 pawn
eliminated.
is eliminated. b7 pawn 1:1. So it has potential.
So it is a target. You mark it. Yeah.
Okay. 1:1.
Then go to d5.
Okay, so this queen 3 actually. So and it is not attacked also. So queen is
eliminated.
Queen eliminated. Rook is 1 and so it is also eliminated.
Yeah.
Bishop is 2-0, so eliminated.
Yeah, eliminated.
This pawn, one attacker, one defender.
So mark it.
Yeah, so b7 pawn and e6 pawn.
e6 pawn, yeah.
This knight 2 times it's defended and no attack also, so we can eliminate. And all these 3 pawns, fgh, no attacks, but all defended ones.
So you are left with only 2.
b7 and e6. So now our idea is how to...
And it's not clustered. It's not clustered. Even if it's clustered, it's only 2 weaknesses. So you have to do... So think if you could do something about this. So now the next step would be, which one should I focus first? e6 pawn or b7 pawn, right? Probability of winning the pawn pathina, what do you think is higher? Higher probability of winning, right? Yes.
b7
right.
Because queen can go to b5 and attack twice.
Correct, something. So e6 is easy because even if you capture rook takes e6 na pawn will capture, queen takes pawn na pawn will capture. Even though it is a weakness, it is not a very easy weakness to attack. It's a kind of pawn da adum well protected the pawn. I mean protected in the sense it has defense but it is still undefended. Tough to technically explain panna. Defend the pawn and the pawn support irukka and undefended.
Okay.
அந்த மாதிரி. ஆனா b7 pawn பாத்தீங்கனாலும் it has one defender with the rook, ஒரு attacker இருக்கு. But you can easily bring your pieces and attack the pawn if you want. ஏன்னா the defender of that pawn is a piece, not a pawn.
Okay.
ஒரு pawn defend பண்ணும்போது வந்து நம்மளோட ability to attack is generally tough. ஏன்னா வந்து pawn தான் lowest denominator of a strength right on the board.
True.
So நீங்க ஒரு pawn-ஆல capture பண்ணாலோயே generally you are going to lose some material most of the time.
So here so the first move is queen b5.
Queen b5 is one way of piling pressure. There are other ways also like that. What are the other ways?
What are the other ways? Okay, can I push c6?
That's very possible, yes.
If I push c6, he will take, I will take and attack
then
I will attack both the rooks.
Yes, and the thing that you are marking, the reason why you need lot of practice in general is because it will change with every move.
Okay.
After c6, b takes c6, the b7 pawn is no more a weakness, right? Because it's out of the board. But all of a sudden after bishop c6, now you see the a8 rook is a weakness.
Okay.
So every move you have to keep thinking which is a weakness, which is marked. e6 pawn will remain as a weakness, but we got a new weakness now on a8. So that is the solution, what you just said.
C6. So push c6 takes with the bishop and that.
Pawn.
So okay, what if okay, so even if he moves the rook, say I push c6 and he plays say rook c7. So
you have a bishop on f4.
Oh, okay, or
we'll just capture the rook.
Okay,
or you
so
can win the pawn on b7.
He's saving the rook, so we'll end up winning the pawn.
And you also promote the pawn to a queen next move. b7 to b8 queen is coming up if you capture on b7. And bishop on f4 will defend that queen. So he'll lose an exchange by force anyway.
Okay. Anyways, because b8 is protected by this bishop.
By the bishop on f4.
Okay. I missed that. Okay, we have to give attention to all the pieces. Oh my god.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து அந்த ஒரு போர்ட் மேப்பிங் வந்து கரெக்டா இருக்கும். நம்ம எந்த பீஸ் எங்க இருக்குங்கிறதுக்கு நம்ம we should have a good idea. லைக் அப்பதான் வந்து எமர்ஜென்சி நமக்கு என்ன நீட் இருக்கோ அந்த டைம்ல we can remember, oh we have this piece, we can bring him in for our help.
Okay.
The board-ஓட visual memory ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருக்கும் மைண்ட்ல.
Okay. This was okay. So actually, this was very new to me, how to identify attackers. I actually learned on which piece to attack or concentrate. This calculation of 0, 0, 1, 1 and eliminating. Okay, this was very new to me.
And this works not in all positions, but generally it works exceptionally well in puzzles and tactics. It works like high percentage you can get it done. Positional games la வந்து it won't work that well. So it's like for every situation you need a different tool, right? If you want to for bread or for butter you can use a butter knife. To kill a chicken you need a bigger knife, like katti venulla. Same logic. For every scenario you need a different kind of weapon. So this weapon works very well in a tactical position, or where there's a lot of tactics, puzzles involved. This method of looking at it.
Okay, so puzzle solving is an important aspect to learn, right? Like, I mean, how much of help it will be when you are playing the games?
When you're starting out as a young player or a new to game, it's one of the most critical aspects. ஏன்னா நீங்க எவ்வளவுதான் பிரில்லியண்டா சும்மா மூவ் ஆகத்தாலும் if you blunder a piece or a rook or a queen, you are going to lose the game.
Okay, correct.
So the reason you do puzzle solving is one, to spot your opponent's pieces that are hanging. The other way is to spot your own pieces that are hanging, so you'll blunder less.
Okay, cool. 5 puzzles, it almost took 1 hour. But anyways,
it all comes with practice. Practice. If for example, when you are doing on your own, I don't know, like chess.com level and naalike நம்ம academy Facebook page the puzzle that you see, right? Try to apply the same concept. When you see this question, okay, where I see 0 versus 0, 1 versus 1, and whichever you mark, then look at if you can see a cluster. If you can't see a cluster, whatever is left behind, try to focus on that itself. There's no cluster, and see if you can add more pressure to that pawn. So even though the b7 pawn had one attacker, one defender, when we added c6, the b7 pawn feels more pressure because there's 2 attackers, 1 defender. That's the logic. Yeah.
Cool. Fine.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
We solved 5 puzzles, but there was more learning. This actually, I got a new perspective of how to look at a position now. This was actually a big revelation for me. Thank you so much. So we'll end the session by playing one quick game. Yeah, you want to?
Yeah, I think you should not play with me. You should play with someone. I'll commentate. I don't know, up to you. But there's a reason why. Because நான் வந்து இன்னைக்கு ஒரு செம்ம டைட்டில் ஒன்று யோசிச்சிருந்தேன். காலைல இந்த கூப்பிட்ட உடனே I was like, I should teach something. I was like, சும்மா இருந்து சமோசா சாப்பிடுது. என்னோட லாஜிக், அதோட பாயிண்ட் என்னன்னா, as I was earlier mentioning it in a different way, I said like without us doing anything, we can win games.
Okay.
Which is if we just patiently wait for our opponent to make mistakes. Okay. So what you should if you play a game with, let's say, someone closer to your strength, today in the game, try to just don't leave any of your pieces undefended.
Okay.
Try that if you can. Play against anyone. I'll commentate. Your only goal in the tactics, அதெல்லாம் எதுவும் ரொம்பலாம் பார்க்க வேணாம். Only goal, உங்க pieces வந்து you just keep them simply as they are without hanging them. Blunder பண்ணாம இருந்தா போதும். Like the point of this வந்து நம்ம brilliant ஆடணும்னு இல்ல, நம்ம opponent கேவலமா ஆடினாலும் நம்ம ஜெயிக்கலாம் கேம். Logic.
Okay.
So வந்து so let me know once you start the game so that I can give some. So
like my task now is to
play a longer game, like at least more than 5 minutes with 5 seconds increment or something.
I'll play 10:10. I mean without increment.
10:10 will become too long. Play maybe 10:10+2. Maybe play 10+2 or 10+0.
10:0 though. Yeah. I mean 10:10.
Okay, 10 is good. 10 is good. 10 minutes with 0 increment. That is good.
Yeah, that one. Okay. No, I'm just correcting my OBS alignment. ஒரே நிமிஷம்.
Yeah.
So I'll remove my headphones also. Yeah.
Okay, so that you don't hear me good. So நான் என்ன வேணாலும் பேசலாம்.
You take over. I will send a challenge to someone. Okay, I'll.
You just click on the, I think, pool. I think you started your game. Right?
Yeah. You can just. Okay,
so only goal, don't leave any pieces undefended. That's your goal. Okay.
Okay, fine. I am removing the headset.
Okay. Okay, so now let's see if we are seeing a game. Manoj is playing against Mo Hassan from Germany. So we are seeing the Philidor defense. I just told him don't leave any pieces undefended, and E4 pawn he just. Okay, so we'll see. So that's what I said.
Leave any piece undefended. Oh my god.
So this is really a good learning experience for if you are also a starting out player in.
Already I'm a pawn down. I totally missed that.
Okay, this is a good move, bishop to g5, because he's even though the d5 even though it's undefended, it is he's defended it by pinning the queen, counter attack. He just dropped another pawn, but that's not really. Let's see what he does. There is actually one move which is interesting, which is bishop b5 check. But okay, he played bishop e7. And if black plays, okay, now let's see if he finds it. Bishop b5 is a very strong move in my opinion here, because then black has to play c6 to defend the knight and block the check, and then white will play queen captures on the knight on d5, and then he gets at least one pawn back. Okay, this way is also possible, but I'm not a big fan of this move. And he's going to lose some material if black plays correctly. Let us see what he does. Now black can go like his knight on d5 can go to f6, and or knight on f4, something like that. And there's a lot of attack on the white claim in general. Okay, so now the problem is when you bring your bishop back to d3, black will go e4, and then there's double attack. The first thing he should do is he should not let the bishop on h7 undefended. Let's see if Manoj does that. He can find the fact that the bishop is hanging. Good, he brought it back at least. Good. Okay. But he couldn't do much. It was the bishop was by force, like he didn't have a choice. He had to do something. So one way to handle here is go rook e1 and pin the pawn, so that, yes, good move. To the point of it being, if he captured the bishop on knight, the queen on e7, black's queen would be hanging. So it's a very good practical try. And now he can pull his bishop back, and save one of his pieces from being lost. I would choose between knight d2 or, because bishop f1, the problem is this bishop to g4, further pinning. Okay, bishop b5 is there, but I think black will push the pawn in front of c7 to c6, blocking the check, and at the same time, okay, he played bishop d7. Bishop d7 is not as good as c6. Okay, let's see what Manoj does. Manoj is still having a lot of practical chances here. He's only one pawn down, and black's king is still stuck in the center. So there's a lot of practical chances for white here. But as I said, it's not about who plays first good moves. Generally, like who makes the most blunders and who makes the last blunders would be the one who loses. So even from here, if he doesn't make any blunder, and if he can kind of exploit opponent's blunder, he'll have a good chance to win this game. So if you could hear him speaking, he's correctly thinking, develop the knight. Knight on f3, even though it is being attacked, Black cannot capture the knight. The white black king is pinned on e8. Rook on e1 is aiming at the black king on e8 right now.
Just defended twice. Should I attack this queen? Can I do this?
It's a okay move, but I'm not a big fan. I would have just developed my knight to c3 instead of knight e5. But it has a valid idea to it. It's attacking the black queen. But I believe black will see that the queen is being attacked and he'll move the queen away. Yeah. And if a bigger problem even if you move the knight, h2 pawn is a problem for the h2 pawn. So white has to defend the h2 pawn. For example, a pretty okay-ish move for white here would be the f2 or pawn pushing that to f4, defending the knight on e5 at the same time. That's a possibility. Or queen to d4 level. That's also a good possibility to defend the knight. As the queen goes to d4, the e5 knight is protected by the queen.
There is a mate
And
if I move this pawn.
If you heard Manoj, he's correctly thinking the h2 pawn weakness, he has spotted it. So now he's figuring out ways on how to do it. Brilliant. If he's thinking of f4, it's a very good, I think very practical idea.
I'll push f4. He can't take. If he takes en passant.
En passant panna, that's knight c4 check.
Okay.
Brilliant. Good. That's like, as I said, one of the best moves here. Queen d4 or f4 was the kind of the options he had in this position. Black plays e takes f3, which is what we call en passant, those special move in chess for the absolute beginners. Okay, black did not play that. Black went knight c6. But if black had done the en passant move, white would have won the black's queen with knight c4 check.
Okay. Oh my god. I need to
I think he's feeling the pressure. Black is playing pretty fast, although black has 8 minutes. We started with a 10-minute game. Right? So now, suggestion for white would be just to capture the knight on c6. That's a pretty okay move. The knight on e5 is now, black is threatening to capture the knight, right? So white has to do something about the knight. So the best move would be just to capture the knight.
It's a very confusing position.
Let's see what he does. Black is clearly in favor in the position. Black has an extra pawn, kind of more safer king. Even though the king is in the center of the board, the king still retains the option to castle both sides, either the long side or the short side. So the king has that flexibility. But white king is up deal. The king is pretty weak.
He will capture. There's no check. I will capture. He will take. I will push g3. Okay.
Good. Knight takes c6 is the best move, as I was saying. So black, okay, he captured with the queen. I think he had the option to also capture with the pawn. Both were equally good. So now if black got a main ideas queen b6 check for idea black is thinking of. Check the king on g1, attack the b2 pawn. So knight c3 is a good developing move. You're getting the knight out and you're kind of putting some pressure on the d5 e4 pawn chain. And if a queen b6 now you go king h1. You should go king h1 because king f1 is way blunder. Then the rook on h8 will attack the h2 pawn. H2 pawn becomes undefended.
If I capture here, he will capture. It's a check.
So let's see. If he goes king h1, that's like the best move out there. But the time is a big problem. He's taking too much time, burning the clock. And I don't think there's an increment also, so he has to make his moves fast. But I don't know if he remembers that there is no increment in the clock. Oh wow, he went king f1. Now it's just rook takes h2, and it's like basically checkmate. Queen b2, black. So the idea of queen b2 is actually very interesting. The point is, if you do play knight takes d5, queen b5, that's a check. Attacking the king and attacking the knight, and black wins the d5 knight. So will be interesting to see if black spots this check. If black spots it, I mean, it already looks pretty bad for Manoj, this position, and black does spot queen b5 check. And now if the knight is hanging, the king is under check. And also, as I said, he's very low on time. He only has 2 more minutes to play the remainder of this game. Whereas black has 7 minutes. So a lot of these things, if you're also like a starting mode player, don't kind of lose hope. Like a lot of things come with a lot of practice. Practice பண்ணிட்டே இருந்தாதான் you get better at anything in general, and the same thing applies to chess also. To practice for hours and hours.
Too much time pressure.
To get good at chess. Knight d5 gives white some practical chances. You have rook takes e4, and with a check, you're targeting the black king, and the black king is stuck in the center. So now black has kind of given a ray of hope against Savala, like something like that for white. But still not a big ray of hope, but some small ray of hope for white. So Manoj can play c4 here, pushing the pawn, attacking the queen and knight, but then black would push his queen from b5, make his queen from b5 to go and check on c5 or check on b6. Rook e5 also the same outcome. Black's best to try would be to go queen b6 check. Or yeah, c6 is fine, but I think queen b6 is the strongest. Okay, as predicted, black did play queen b6, and now king h1. That's
check.
Okay, knight takes f4. If a practical chance for white, in my opinion, is the fact that the black king is on f8. So if Manoj can try to find some checkmating ideas against the king, well and good. I mean, they don't exist as of now, but if black does give them in the next, upcoming set of moves.
Very bad.
King d7, as I said, he's aiming at giving some pressure against the black king. That's like the only practical chance that white has here. There's a lot of good moves for black here. He can go queen f6. He can go, he could even just go king g8, try to get his king to safety. Or he could go queen f2, trying to checkmate. A lot of good options for that. But also there are some very bad moves that black can make. So there's small ray of hope, that if black makes that blunder, terrible move, white can. But the bigger worry for me is the clock, That's another important thing. Okay, so black goes for very hyper defensive mode, knight e6. So now the best move for white would be bring the rook on a1 to f1 and attack the f7 pawn. Basically, you're threatening a checkmate. If he does rook f1, he's more or less back in the game here. Because after rook f1, black does not have that many good moves. Black, more or less in all the lines that I see, black has to give back the extra knight. Rook f1, but as I said, time is such a big factor in the game. Only 20 seconds, not much you can calculate. He's like, I think he forgot that there's even rook d1. Oh, he's setting a very nice trap. If black goes rook d8, try to guess what white would play. White has a beautiful checkmate. Queen takes d8, knight captures the queen on d8, rook d1 captures on d8. I think he's hoping that black falls for.
Putting the queen and the rook on the same file is not at all good.
I don't know why he thinks the same. He has just built up a brilliant trap.
I do not have any other move.
Hopefully black falls for it. So see how funny. Okay, so I actually blacks did spot that mate. That's why he's going c6 to secure the d8 square. Okay, he's going to lose on time.
Hey, no.
Wait, what?
This is bad move.
I think that was a mouse slip. Okay. Oh wow, he made a move with 1 second on the clock.
3 blunders. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. First, சொன்ன உடனே நேரா by the way, the last position just before you played rook d1. Rook d1 was, by the way, was a very. I thought you set up a trap. I think you set it up unknowingly. The idea of rook d1 was if.
Wait, I'll go to the game. Actually, rook d1 he can play rook d8, right? I mean, putting the
rook
king.
d8 now you had a beautiful checkmate on the board. I thought you set up that trap. You can just play queen takes d8. I was explaining to the audience why it is a beautiful checkmate for rook d8.
Okay, fine. In
Queen
this position,
takes rook.
Right? Okay, move.
After you played rook d1.
Move 25, and he say if he comes rook d8.
You take the rook with your queen.
Okay, and if he takes knight knight takes, I can take with the rook.
With your rook, and it's a checkmate.
Okay, yeah, because the other rook is covering the e file.
The e file. But instead of rook d1, the strongest move was putting 25th move going rook f1, threatening a checkmate on f7.
Oh, okay.
And black actually has no good moves there. Like black has to give back the knight. Because if rook f1, the way he has to try to defend f7, he can play f6.
F6, I can take the knight on e6. And knight
with
is
your rook.
Yeah. Okay.
And if he goes something like knight to d8, you just checkmate on e8. To defend f7, if he moves his knight backward.
Okay. The moment the idea was to defend equally and the 0-0 maintain பண்றதுதான். The moment I gave away the pawn, எனக்கு அதுலயே கொஞ்சம் ஒரு மாதிரி I got shaken.
அதுதான். So startingல இருந்தே so how not to give away pawn னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா generally if the pieces are staying together, it's same தான். இது என்னது இந்த I think they call it the wolf tactic or whatever, right? Like if you're all alone, you can get hunted down. If you stay as a group, tough to get hunted. Yeah.
Like certain things are there in my memory, like e4 will be protected by knight c3.
Yeah.
d4 will be protected by knight f3. அதெல்லாம் இருக்கு. அதே மாதிரி d pawn எப்பவுமே there is a queen always protecting. So okay, like one thing
you should not try to block the natural defenders. You should not try to put something in between and block. If you do, then you need to bring new defenders to those pieces.
Okay, so I will just quickly run through from move 1 to last move so that you can tell me which is a good move, which is a bad move, and we'll end this.
Sure.
Okay, so e4, generally I play e4 all the time. It's one of my favorite moves.
Yeah.
So what is your opening move? E4 then, d4?
E4, I normally play e4, but d4, every move is good. I played all the moves, but e4 was also my primary opening.
Okay, so e4, e5, knight f3, இதெல்லாம் standard.
D6 is standard too.
This is Perk's defense. I was wondering. Philidor.
D6 na Philidor. It can transpose into. It's basically Philidor. Sometimes it comes from a Perk move orderly. You can come to Philidor if you want to.
Okay.
But so this is direct Philidor.
D4 is not bad, right?
D4 is the most logical move. You are fighting for the center. You are getting space.
Okay, takes I can take with the knight, but he developed his knight, so I went to d5.
D5 ஆடி இருக்க. You should have played d5 is a blunder. I'm pretty sure you already know that because you just hung a pawn. அதுக்கு பதிலா you should have defended the pawn on e4 by bringing your knight out to c3.
இல்லனா bishop c3, bishop d3 was good. After playing d5. Okay. Okay, so this pawn is being attacked and I didn't pay attention. Correct. I should have developed.
So you could go bishop d3 and also defend the pawn on e4. But the right move would be to develop the knight to c3 than the bishop. That would technical reasons irukku. It would be like big topic that is all together.
I can go knight d5 sometimes and அது ஒரு இது outpost மாதிரி இருக்கும். that is
ஆமா
one of
இன்
the
ஜெனரல் ஒரு ரொம்ப ஒன் லைனர்ல சொல்லணும்னா நைட்டுக்கு வந்து C3 தவிர ஒரு நேச்சுரல் ஸ்கொயர் கிடையாது. ஆனா
okay okay
பிஷப்புக்கு வந்து D3 மட்டும் கிடையாது. பிஷப் கேன் கோ E2 C4 ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் இருக்கு பிஷப்.
okay okay fine.
சோ ஒரு பீஸுக்கு ஆப்ஷன் இருக்கும்போது யூ ஷுட் கிவ் ஹிம் த ஆப்ஷன். ஆப்ஷன் இல்லாத பீஸை யூ ஷுட் யூஸ் இட்.
Okay, so now I just got tempted and I pushed d5. Okay, so pawn pochu. So I attacked the knight on e4.
Yeah, he pulled back. Okay, and then bishop g5 was a very good move. I really liked bishop g5.
Pinning that.
Because it's technically a counter attack kind of move. You're not defending d5 directly, but you're defending it in a counter attack way.
Yeah. I just wanted to pin it. So I castle.
Castle ke badala you should have played first taken the knight. I think bishop f6 would have been better. You know, because you lost the d5 pawn the next move.
Oh, okay, correct.
You could have just eliminated the defender. I mean, eliminated the attacker. Eliminated the attack. The
okay,
knight
so now my bishop is hanging, so I took.
Yeah, and queen e7. And inge bishop h7, in my opinion, is the biggest mistake. Instead of bishop h7, you had a different move here.
Illa, because I thought I lost 2 pawns. So, inge or pawn eduthu this will, I mean, I'll gain 1 pawn by this exchange, right? If
Yes, but you had a different way to gain the pawn.
Okay.
You had a way to gain the pawn, but not with bishop h7. But with
rook e1.
Illa, bishop to b5 with a check.
Oh.
The idea of bishop h7 enna, you wanted to remove the bishop to capture the knight.
Okay, like what if he plays? Okay, even if he pushes c6, I can take
c6.
I can take the knight, and if he captures, I can capture back.
Yeah, so that's the point. Bishop b5, he will play c6. That's the only move he has to defend the knight and block the check. You will take your queen and capture the knight on d5, and it's a pin, right? So he will then capture the bishop. He can't capture the queen because the king is attacked. So when he captures the bishop, you just capture the pawn and you got the pawn back. And the reason why this pawn capture is better than that pawn capture on h7 is because once you removed h7 pawn, the rook on h8 is attacking your king.
Correct. I was once, and when the queen was on d6 and queen and rook was aiming at h1, I was also I didn't want to get checkmated there. So that's why I pushed
you just opened up a door which was just closed.
Correct. Like
something like that, yeah.
I thought he will take and the pakam castle panna maataru nenchen, but anyways, okay, so I took. He didn't take, but again coming back to d2, I mean d3 was a mistake, right?
But you didn't have any other option. That was your best move.
Okay.
If not, how will you defend your bishop?
Okay, so he pushed and I pinned that.
That is the best move. Rook e1 is practically the best move.
So he can't take.
For d5, you had some options. Bishop e5 was not the favorite move. Maybe I would have considered maybe first just simply going knight c3, something like that. Or even going bishop e2. No, not bishop e2, bishop f1. My bad. Yeah.
So anyways, this pawn is pinned. So adanaala check vechi I mean escape agama irundirukala.
But on a check vechadukku your opponent played bishop d7 helping you. If you had played c6, you would have attacked your bishop. Again, you would have had to make a move with your bishop.
Correct. That is. I was thinking, what if he attacks my bishop and rendume? If say for example, bishop b5 check, he pushes c6. I come back bishop a4.
Yeah, and then he will play bishop g4 and pin your knight, most probably.
Okay.
Bishop c8 will come to g4. It will still be a game. He can't still capture your knight because the queen is under pin.
So
but you are under heavy pressure already.
Okay.
So adanalda what I am suggesting is, because bishop g4 pin vara poradnala, first
H3.
remove the knight. Illa h3 la remove the knight. f3 la knight remove pannirunga. Let the bishop stay on d3 as it is. Because he still can't capture.
Knight d4.
Knight d4. Something like knight d4. So then if he attacks if he moves the queen away trying to capture d3, then move the bishop away. And he can't really also pin your knight because the knight has moved away. If that makes sense.
Okay. So we have to make sure that this, so already our piece is getting attacked once. We have to escape from one more attack. That is the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So rook e1, what he played? He played this.
E5, bishop E5.
So I played check. So this capture was okay, la?
Yeah, bishop D7 was a bad move by him. Your move was good for you capturing it. Right?
Okay, he unpinned. So this
And
was
for that, knight E5 was not a good move. Now, whatever move number, 14th move.
okay.
I
Yeah,
think you should have just simply played some, I don't know,
knight.
knight D4 maybe is better. Something more solid. Like, you don't want to go too early into opponent's camp also. They say right in the Abhimanyu Kadamadi Mahabharata. You know how to get in, but you don't know how to get out.
Okay,
அந்த
okay.
மாதிரி ஆயிடும். Many times your pieces can go in, but they won't have a way to come out.
Yeah. Here my knight வந்தாலுமே G4 வந்திருக்கலாம். I thought if I come back G4, even if he takes, I can exchange there.
No, but if you exchanged in that position instead of F4, F4 was the best move. I was like saying, hopefully he finds F4. You know, if you go knight G4, actually you would have lost the H2 pawn in that line.
Oh, okay.
Because knight captures the knight. You will put your white knight to G4, black will take the knight on G4, the white queen will capture the black knight, the black queen will capture the white pawn on H2.
Oh, okay. With a check.
With a check. And your king has to run for safety, but you'll get good probability you may get checkmated.
Yeah, fine. So I thought I will attack the queen.
So knight e5 was semi-dubious. Like knight d4 may have been slightly better than e5. But after knight e5, queen d6, you found the best move, f4, which is very good. Because without f4, the only other decent move for white was queen d4 then. But even that is not very great because black has c5.
Okay, he will push the queen away. So
f4 ஒரு f4 ஒரு ட்ராப்பும் இருக்கு. If I think you were mentioning it when you were thinking it loud. You said n% பண்ணா என்ன பண்றதுன்னு. He takes f3 அடிச்சா. You had a trap பண்ணா
I could have given a discovered check
with your knight on c4.
That was the idea.
Yeah, that's the point.
But he didn't take.
So f4 க்கு he went knight c6. I think I'm okay with, like from his perspective knight c6 okay, but maybe he could have, if he was a bit more greedy, he could have gone queen b6 check and taken the b2 pawn.
Oh, okay.
But he was not. He went knight c6. I think he missed queen b6. Yeah.
Okay, so this capture was good, huh? c6.
Yeah, knight takes c6, queen c6 was good. And in the position, I think knight c3 is okay. That's, I think, practically the best try. And your next big mistake was the 18th move. I don't know why you went king f1. Why not king h1? What worried you from going?
Because I didn't want to put the king in front of this open rook. I was always afraid.
But on the other hand, if you go king f1, what if he just plays rook takes h2? You are inviting the rook to come close to your king.
Oh,
At least when a defender or a king up pocket, keeping the king somewhat safe is better than having the king with no safety.
Oh, actually that h2 was hanging and he did not take. Okay.
Yeah, he just went after the b2 pawn. He could have captured the h2 pawn also. I mean, b2 pawn was also not bad. It also works for him because his position is so good in this position. But h1 would have been safer for you. Because if you remember king f1, queen b2, knight d5, you lost a piece because he had queen b5 check.
Correct.
And unga king h1 la irundha அந்த check வந்திருக்காது. King would have been safer.
Okay.
No defense, some defense is better. That's logic.
Oh, correct. So I took this pawn. I thought he will exchange here.
Yeah, queen b5, king g1, knight d5.
So, okay. I thought he will take my knight on d5 and exchange.
Okay, you missed queen b5 check. But yeah, queen b5 was a very good intermediate move.
And he also added another defender here, so I had to move back. He took.
Yeah.
I took with a check.
Yeah.
And
king f8.
So this was good. Rook e4.
Rook e4 is your only practical try. Rook e5. Yeah, you could play c4 on 22nd move. You can play c4, but he'll move his queen and give a check, so you don't win the piece. He'll just give a check and move the knight away.
Oh yeah, okay. So he moves with a check. Correct.
So rook e5 was a okay move, fairly okay move.
Okay. Now I was actually
surprised. King h1 you went. அதே லாஜிக் யூஸ் பண்ணா you should have gone king f1, right?
இல்லை பிகாஸ் ஐ டிட் நாட் see that there is a check if I go to f1 last time. அப்புறம் he gave a checkல ஸோ அதனால ஓகே திரும்ப போனால் there is one more check, அது கொஞ்சம் அவஸ்தையாக இருக்கும்னு சொல்லிட்டு.
Actually king f1 would be a bigger blunder. Knight e3 check இருக்கு, you lose the exchange.
Yeah, I mean okay,
rook takes knight acha, queen takes rook, you capture the rook.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see that.
King h1, so king h1, knight f4, and I really liked queen d7. I was telling the commentary appa, I was telling that's I think practically the best try. Like you're kind of trying to confuse your opponent a bit in that position.
No, I thought
the buchandi katra mari
e7 la I thought I'll give some threat.
Adha, it's like you're trying saying okay na check வைக்க போறேன் check வைக்க போறேன், even though it's not a good check, not a great check, you're just showing him some threats. Like for example, I don't know if you know, there was a game played between very popular game, it was played yesterday, between Daniel Dubois and
I saw that he sacrificed the queen.
Yeah, so it was not a correct sacrifice from a like evaluation perspective, but the thing is it was complicated enough for the black to go wrong. If black was a computer, black would win, computer would have beaten him, but black is a human player, right?
Correct.
So adhe logic da, when you go queen d7, even though it's not any checkmate, you're just showing maybe I'll checkmate you, maybe you're just inducing a fear in the opponent's mind.
Okay.
And after, as I said, queen d7, knight d6, rook f1 would have actually given you the chance. But the other thing is you are so low on time, obviously you can't do, even after rook f1, you'll find some ways to kind of keep the game, winning on time. Most likely your opponent would have done something.
Okay, so this, and he came back here blocking my rook. So I bought rook a d8, rook d1. And I was...
Rook f1 is the suggestion.
Rook f1 would have been another correct.
Rook f1, I think you are basically completely back in the game, like positional perspective.
Okay.
Time you were low, but by game you are fully back on this.
And by this time I didn't know what move to make, so I thought I'll give at least one check.
Yeah. I thought it was a mouse slip.
Okay. Illa. I thought there is only one defender, but this queen is also defending. He pushed this pawn.
That's why he played c6 smart, because he wanted to go rook d8, but I think the guy figured out that you set up a trap that if he goes rook d8, you want to take on d8. So he said he'll play c6, threatening rook d8 next move. Yeah.
Okay. Man.
So
this was a very bad game.
A lot of things like first you should improve your game level, aprom you should improve your time management. It's a balancing act da, one better agite pona pro slowa innone improve pannom. It's like very not
the thing is very first move I hanged and the pawn hang acha, like adliye the idea of the game நீங்க சொல்லி அம்ச்சிங்க இப்படி விளையாடுறா அப்படி, அதுலயே எனக்கு அதுவே வந்து ஐ வாஸ் ஷேக்கன். ஐயோ நீங்க பார்த்துட்டு வேற இருக்கீங்களா மேட்ச் முடிச்ச அப்புறம் என்ன சொல்றது அப்படின்னு
எல்லாம் பிராக்டிஸ் தான், nothing to know, nothing to worry about it. Sounds good.
பட் எனக்கு நான் அந்த குயின் அண்ட் ரூக் h2 செக்மேட் ப்ரிவென்ட் பண்றதுக்கே ஐ ஸ்பெண்ட் லைக் 2 minutes நினைக்கிறேன், லைக் more than 1 minute.
I spent and 1.5 minutes you spent around knight e5, and f4 I think you spent something like 2 minutes or something, 1.5 minutes.
Correct. Like 2 moves I spent more than 1 minute. Consistent or 2-3 moves, 14 15 16 மூணுமே 1 minute 1.5 152. Oh my god.
So if you look at it, like where you made a mistake you blundered a pawn first, and then again you blundered another pawn on d5. So the idea what I said was summa kan samosa sabna, like basically you don't give anything, you just simply sit without giving him anything, and your opponent will give you every gift. Like if we can make this mistakes, our opponent can also make this mistakes, right? That's logic.
Okay.
நம்ம ஒண்ணுமே பண்ணாம it's like kind of a defensive play. I think tennis there used to be some players, I think I forgot, all they would do is they just keep returning whatever shot you hit at them, they just return, and ஒரு இடத்துல நீங்களே tired ஆகி you start making blunders or mistakes.
Okay,
same logic.
Cool. Thank you, bro. This was
Okay.
so much fun. I learned so
Thanks.
much.
Thanks for inviting me too today.
Okay.
I also had fun.
Please do come
Yeah.
regularly whenever you're free. I'll be very
Sure,
happy.
sure, definitely.
So
Definitely. I would
we
be
have
happy
some
to.
questions on the chat. You mind answering a few?
Okay, just quickly,
Uh,
yeah, go ahead.
okay. One Jerry Robert, he has asked, Mr. Grandmaster, can you beat the AI chess which is installed in Windows Hardcore in 10 minutes? Will
No,
you
no,
do?
like no grandmaster can beat a hardcore. Even beating a mobile phone engine is tough for a grandmaster. So
Okay.
hardcore laptop launch impossible. Like a mobile phone is now basically as like is uh, as good as Carlson or even slightly better than Carlson at this point. A mobile phone engine, a chess
Okay,
engine.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. Cool, sir. That and other questions were there just summa chatting. So fine.
Oh, okay.
But anyways,
Okay,
thank you,
sounds good.
Priyadharshan. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
So yeah, definitely. Thanks for inviting me.
And
And in general, like I think you already said, right? Puzzles in the mari regular they solve. If any of your audience is interested in getting better at chess, no, they should just solve puzzles regularly. General
sure, sure,
tips இதெல்லாம் puzzle solving. இல்லைன்னா இந்த மாதிரி சின்ன பேசிக் லாஜிக் இது இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்ணாலே they get it's actually very easy to improve at the starting level. ஏன்னா even if you fine tune your game very little, you get to see it in real, like immediately you can see it in results. ஒரு சின்ன சேஞ்ச் பண்ணா கூட. But
correct,
as you
correct.
get stronger and stronger, you are making very minor changes that externally it won't be visible. You won't be able to notice that, oh, okay, I've improved on this aspect. But at the starting level, even if you make minor changes, ஒரு thought process சின்ன change பண்ணா கூட you can realize, oh, okay, earlier நான் இந்த move வச்சிட்டு இருக்கேன், இப்போ now I realize, right? So it's actually a
Yeah,
very rewarding experience when you change like the thought process or improve your thought process and just at the starting stages.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So
Thank you
that's
so much.
and yes, yeah. So
And if
to
you
all your
want to,
audience also.
if you want to promote something like he runs an academy, Chess Gyan, please do follow his page for more interesting chess puzzles and chess
Yeah,
learnings.
so in our Facebook page, just to say it's ANCHESS என்னோட I think என் பேக்ரவுண்ட்ல இருக்க லோகோல இருக்கு, அதுதான்
Chess.
அகாடமி லோகோ and அந்த font the double A, single A இல்ல double A. So also we post YouTube videos for beginners a lot. So anyone if they want to learn, it's like they just subscribe to the channel so that they can gain. We post like every alternate day we post content. Like as I said, we posted something on why you should not push G3 pawn off and அந்த மாதிரி. So it's like a 3-minute video too. நீங்க சும்மா எந்திரிச்சு ஒரு 3 minutes if you have on a day, you learn something to get better at chess or something like that. So it's helpful for them. YouTube la that one, Facebook la we post puzzles. Everything is aimed at getting them better at chess.
Super, super. So if someone wants to enroll their children or someone, what should they do? You can let that
So
also.
if they go to chessgyan.com, which is the academy website, there's a contact form. If they scroll down, like it's chessgyan.com. If you scroll down, they see contact form. They can leave out their details like name, phone numbers. We'll reach out to them. We offer all sorts of lessons, as I said at the start, individual lessons, group classes. We conduct online camps, like Indian students, also international students. We work with students from 8 countries right now. And it's an online, location is not a barrier, and timing is also not a barrier. You can take classes at any time. So they can fill out the form. We have different class methods, different timings, so it's very flexible. So according to whatever a student wants, we can provide them exactly what they want. And we generally it's like we have so far worked with like bunch of national champion, very young kids. I've even taught some 70-year-old people also. It's like it's everyone, everyone learns chess for some learn for hobby, some learn for mentally stimulating experience, some learn to get better. It's a lot of interesting audience you see as students generally.
It will help you in some way or the other. Like it's a so thank you.
Yeah, it's a very rewarding game. Even as to the audience, I'm not saying like you aim to become a grandmaster. Aptila, you don't take up chess in general. Just take it up as the sport உங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் தெரிஞ்சா கூட it helps you in lot of other aspects of life தான்.
Correct,
You
correct.
can easily relate it to a lot of things. Like if you become a grandmaster, yeah, you can think of it as a professional இல்லனா வந்து as a, you know, like I've gained a lot by playing chess. I mean, because I was serious about it. I don't think I said at the start of this, but I did my 6 years of university study in US, 4 years undergrad, 2 years. Up I got like basically I'm close to full scholarship. It was all because I was strong at chess. You would have heard of people going for research scholarship, in the scholarship and scholarship, but I got my scholarship admission ellame because of chess. Like, you know,
Okay.
the university valued that they wanted a chess player. So அது வந்து ப்ரொஃபஷனலா இருக்கும்போது. But I know of many kids who end up getting into admission into better schools because they were chess players. So they had a chess rating. So school they were comparing, let's say, two applications. They were like, oh, okay, this kid has a rating, so maybe he's smarter than the other kid. So
Okay,
they
okay,
give, you
okay.
know, higher preference. And there are in few countries, if you have a FIDE rating, you are kind of qualified to get into better schools, like a kind of
Oh,
they give marks to you for that, for having rating, admission process. It's
nice.
like and it's a very good in the mari external benefits இருக்கு, thought process clarity, like, you know, focus. இப்போ நம்ம 2 hours உட்கார்ந்து பேசிட்டு இருந்தோம் this conversation, right? Like it was like, it's like you were focused, I was focused. நார்மலா ஒரு ஆள் 2 hours ஒரு இதை உட்கார்ந்து பண்ணா, like we'll check our phone, we'll do this, we'll do that,
Yeah.
and you develop that a lot. That's I can go on and on, but I'm not going to do it today. I'll come back in a different stream of yours, definitely. I'll talk about
We'll do a separate stream titled Benefits of Chess. And
I will do. I would be happy to do about it.
yeah, sure, sure.
Okay.
Thank you,
Sure.
Priyadharshan. Thanks a lot. See you soon. We'll
Thanks,
stay
thank
connected.
you, Manoj, and thanks to the
And
audience.
sometime we have been planning to play each other for a long time. I don't know why I am so interested in getting beaten in 10 moves, but let's see. Hopefully
Just
you
try to
find,
use all the tips that I shared and get better at it. So
yeah,
next time,
I use your
we'll
weapons
have a
against
match.
you, so but you will know
Yeah,
the difference
fine.
better. But anyways, thank you. It was fun. We were planning for
Yeah,
1 hour,
bye-bye.
7 to 8, but it's almost like 2.5 hours. This is so amazing. Thank you, thank you. Hope I didn't eat
Yeah,
your time.
bye.
Hope.
No, it's okay. It's fine. I had a great time. So
Thank you, Priyadharshan. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.
You can leave. I'll just talk to the chat for 2 minutes, and I'll also
Okay,
talk.
I'm leaving the meeting. Okay.
Bye bye. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for being on the stream. I hope you guys learned something. Oh my God. From this. No. Yes. Good. Bad. Please do let me know what did you feel about this stream. What we should do better, or whether it was boring, interesting. Should I bring more grandmasters? You guys let me know. I am so bad at it. You could have seen from my games, but I'm just trying to get better. It's just an addiction I couldn't overcome. Regular I'll be playing. I was aiming to go to 1500 by the end of the year, but I'm stuck at 1100. I reached 1300, but I don't know. But anyways, thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot for all your comments. See you soon. Bye, Anna. Hope you upload more comedy video. Yes, man. I'll definitely upload more comedy videos. Let's play kabaddi, Adi. Yes, Rajkumar, we are winding up. Yeah, he got chess scholarship. Great, la. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Thanks for all the subscribes. Thanks for all the shares. If you haven't liked the stream, do like the stream, and so that it will reach a lot of people. I'm planning to bring some more guests and see what we can do. All this I'm just doing for fun. I'm not gaining anything. I am not even monetized my channel, so it's just like that. Once live shows starts, we'll see what happens. Do come and watch my live shows. Do watch my stand-up videos. That is more important. I'm not going to become a grandmaster anytime soon, so let's see. Thank you, guys. Good night. I'll see you soon in another stream, another 1 or 2 days. Good night. Take care. Bye bye.